Hey everybody, what's going on? It's me, it's RDV, and I'm here as for as long as my router holds out tonight. I got Eric Breen with me tonight, so he can watch the train wreck.
And I'm here as long as I hold up.
I think he'll outlast my router. There's a good chance of that, unless Evil Black Cat shows up. Alright. And if anybody's watching this on the replay, please click like, hit subscribe if you've already done so. If you want to donate, there's ko-fi.com/Puppetine. Go right there. You can drop $1 in a tin. Helps us pay for the readings. Also pays for the Marvel, DC comic book apps that we use, which charge money annually. And then there's also the monthly stream yard. So other than that, I guess we'll just jump right into this. Eric, I think you have, what, one book tonight?
Or you can donate to the Lamar Jackson fund, since the Ravens just gave him 52 a year for the next 5.
Man. Also,
you kind of wish you'd been a quarterback now.
I want more than a quarterback.
52. You couldn't do 52 million a year.
52 million quarterbacks.
180 million of it guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be a quarterback.
I'd be a quarterback. I gotta be somewhere it's nice and warm all the time. Be like Dan Marino, just get paid.
North for 52 million a year. I think I could put up with a little cold few days a year.
Right. Also, RIP to Jerry Springer. Died of cancer today. Sucks. It's only like 70 years, 79.
And in a final, I don't know what the right word is. His funeral will be paid for with a check. Now, do you get that?
I know he had his final thoughts at the end.
No. His what he was famous for originally, because he was the mayor of Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, Cincinnati. I know that. Yeah, I didn't know.
He went out and got him a hooker, and then paid with a check. Now, it's pretty easy to catch a politician having paid for sex when you can just show them the canceled check. Yeah, he was a character.
He didn't have any cash on him. He only had a checkbook.
Okay? A friend of mine was on his show before it devolved into what it was now known.
Yeah.
When it was just a regular talk show.
Yeah, but I gotta say, for creative though, it was pretty cool. Even though everything was all scripted, obviously, but it was cool to see that that's what he's famous for. Those who are in Cincinnati know him. Yeah, either you liked him or you hate him, but you knew he was here. But everybody knew him for being the guy who had the carnival.
Yeah, and I think other shows reacted to him, and you were mentioning how they were scripted, and yes, they absolutely were.
Yeah.
And I've told this story before. This girl lived up the street from me. She tried out for the Phil Donahue show when the subject was like girls, like cocktail waitresses, strippers, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the prudes that disapproved of them. Well, she tried out for the part of one of the strippers and didn't make it, so she played one of the prudes instead. So yeah, they're definitely, and you, if you paid close attention, you could find some of the same people on there more than once.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. There was somebody saw a celebrity in one of the Jerry Springer crowds. Forgot who it was, but it was like, it's just recently. I hate my memory. I just saw it like a week ago, and I can't remember who was in the crowd. Oh, I think it was Chris Farley.
I wouldn't be surprised. It was, what was funny about that, when it was at the height of its popularity, they would have they would go to the absolute back end of the trailer park for their guests. But the crowd were all college kids. It looked like spring break without a beach.
It looked like Married with Children.
No, I'm talking about the audience.
Oh, no, I'm just saying it's the way it was scripted. Everything. it was to me it was just as good as watching Married with Children
But it was
because
funny. What my point was,
yeah,
the kind of audience it was attracting. It was it was just like I said. It became like the end thing to do. Like for a while, going to see Jimmy Buffett live was a big thing. It didn't matter if you if you even knew
yeah.
a second Buffett song. It became the thing to do. Well, for a while, for college kids, getting into the audience on Springer was a thing.
Well, yeah, I mean that's I mean it's even when I remember like he was on from to like early 2000s mid probably,
It was on until 2018,
was he really that
and it
long?
got so big that his bouncer got his own show. That's
Steve,
Steve Wilkos.
yeah,
Um, but it was crazy that, like I said, and once the popularity started to wane, the audience kind of reflected that. I mean, the kids moved on, and the audience kind of reflected the people on stage.
I just remember when I was like in 5th or 6th grade and I was homesick from school, whatever. I turned that on and I watched that. Watched a little Andy Griffith, Jerry Springer. It was like my morning thing. It's like the watch. I always knew it was on, and whether it was reruns or not, I didn't care. I was just like, who'd want to watch Maury? Oh, Maury was basically is like you're taking like a 50-50 shot if the guy's the father or not.
Yes.
But Springer did the same thing too.
Yeah, it's like honey, I brought you out here to propose to you. Well, dear, there's something you should know.
I've been sleeping with your brother.
Listen, I am your brother. What?
And then the plot twist. I know. It was just so
Those
crazy.
were they were. It was. It for a while there. It truly was appointment train wreck television.
It was scripted wrestling.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, but it was. I mean, it was. It was huge for a while.
Then where did they film that out of Chicago?
Yeah.
That makes sense because Chris Farley's from Wisconsin. His family there, so I wouldn't be surprised if that that actually was him. They showed the clip; it looked like him a lot.
Yeah, when he started, it was filmed in Cincinnati. It was just a regular, like I said, just a
yeah.
It was a local, yeah, it's like a local cable talk show.
Yeah,
and I don't know how that morphed into.
What did they have on for TV? You had was Sally Clark? Was it the other one? Was it
Sally Jesse Raphael?
Jesse Raphael.
She had the glasses.
Yes.
I mean, I said, everybody knows Nerdrotic from his glasses.
Everyone else heard.
The red glasses. That's how you knew it was Sally Jesse Raphael.
Well, then Annie Potts.
And those were big for a while. I mean, there was
and then because it said the big talk host I remember like was, at least for me remembering, I remember like was Sally Jesse Raphael, Maury Povich. You had obviously you had Springer, and then
there was a lady named Jenny Jones.
Yes, Jenny Jones. Then you had Ricky Lake came in like the late 90s. And then
Ricky Lake was that was different. She was more of a proper talk show. The other ones were ambush guests and sensationalized stuff. Ricky Lake was more of a talk to celebrities, diet and fitness and blah blah blah. And there were two different kinds of talk shows.
Dude, I was watching A-Team and Justin talking about picture little Venkman watching Andy Griffith show and then turning on Springer, Little Angel and Devil on each shoulder. Dude, like it was insane watching this and then because I'd watch Jerry Beyond, but I'd also watch Andy Griffith sometimes. There's a lot of episodes I just turn out because they were just boring to me personally. But I didn't mind watching sometimes. But I watched A-Team, man. That'll be on. Then I was also watching MASH when I was in 5th grade, dude. Like it was just so when I was on regular cable, not cable TV, but regular TV, Fox. That was it. I had from 10 to noon. There was nothing really on. Montel Williams had his own show too. He came in later. And then Oprah. When did Oprah start? She had to start in the 80s, right?
Probably the 90s.
90s, because I remember that she had the cast Ghostbusters on there. I remember what year that was. Probably.
Well, she may go back to the 80s then, because out of the two Ghostbusters movies were made in the 80s.
Yeah, because she had the cast of Ghostbusters on there, and it might have been 1989.
Now, she may have started regional before she went national, too.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't always the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah. Mike Douglas, I don't even remember that guy.
Oh, well, that's a totally different animal. Mike Douglas
Oh,
was more along the lines of a Dick Cavett, like a closer to the Tonight Show than to what we're talking about.
oh, somebody.
Now, here's what Mike Douglas in 1978, I believe it was. His three guests were Bob Hope,
Mhm.
Jimmy Stewart, and they joined him on a putting green to watch little 2-year-old Tiger Woods. That's on YouTube. You can find it.
I think I've seen that too.
And I said,
yeah.
It's
The other show I watched was Price is Right or Wheel of Fortune Beyond. Well, Wheel of Fortune was always on night.
when I was a kid, I was a kid,
when I was a boy,
Diane Parkinson, I think her name was.
Yep.
She was a real busty blonde, and they would make sure she would be in a bikini or a bathing suit at least once an episode. And I mean, that was appointment television for, a teenager with raging hormones.
The more I watch clips of Johnny Carson, man, I would have been watching that, watching the talk shows I liked watching when I was growing up was Conan. I didn't care for Leno. Leno was like, whatever, and then like there wasn't really much other on. Craig Ferguson came on, he was okay.
Craig Ferguson was fantastic. Thank you very much.
But I'm saying like Letterman, I didn't care for Letterman even in the 90s. Letterman was just kind of boring to me. Paul Schaefer, whatever the guy's name is, that was annoying too. I was just like, so when I go back and watch Carson, like, dude, Carson is like, there hasn't anybody like Carson, me personally.
Carson, undisputed king.
Yeah.
Letterman in the 80s on NBC.
Maybe, yes, before he got big.
Really, and through the 90s, at some point, he became a shill for the Democrat Party. And he got old and crabby. I mean, he became a hermit. Leno is kind of like a CBS show for late night. It was weird that it almost would have made more sense for Leno to have gone to CBS and Letterman to have replaced Carson, because that would save them the trouble of in all the rest homes in America having to change the channel from CBS to NBC in case one of the oldsters had insomnia.
I didn't even think about that because I know that makes sense because they do only have no one gets up.
Yeah. And yes, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Leno. It's just, but that's what it was. I mean, it was like comfort food for people that just want to, drift off. I mean, Letterman had some bite. Conan had some bite. Leno really didn't.
I don't want to say Leno was boring altogether. I mean, when he's on his talk show, sure. But Jay's Garage, different story, much more entertaining.
I'm not going to say he was boring. He just wasn't. He just didn't. It was just kind of there.
Yeah.
Whereas Letterman had a lot of really creative sketches. I mean, Chris Elliott, Larry Bud Melman.
You're never going to top him jumping all the bouncy balls off the building.
And the stuff like that. Yeah, the stuff he would throw off the top. And like I said, whoever made the decision at NBC between Leno and Letterman and went Leno, but to their credit, Letterman never beat Leno in the ratings, but I think Letterman attracted a smarter audience. If you're going to be honest.
Sure. His things where he'd go on the street with the microphone were probably the most interesting things he had.
Oh, the jaywalking?
Yeah, jaywalking, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was the precursor to what you see now. And I don't even think Jay could have imagined how dumb people are now.
I mean, Jimmy Fallon in small doses on YouTube clips.
There's not a dose small enough.
For you personally. I'm just saying. I like for me, Conan, when he was late night, around 11 o'clock or 10:30, whatever, right after Leno, that was the peak Conan. When Conan went to TBS, not so much.
Now, granted, I'm the wrong person to ask because I I'm a conservative. And if I had to pick a party, which I would rather not now, it would be Republican, which takes me out of the running of any late night talk show because there's no pretense anymore. They're all in the
Well,
bag for the
now,
Democrats.
they all this. Yeah,
I mean, they're whatever comes after shills.
Jimmy
I mean,
Kimmel's.
Letterman Letterman kind of became a shill. These guys started off as shills.
Yeah, like I said, every time I turn on Kimmel, like he's not funny, and he looks like he's got cancer or something. He keeps getting
and
thinner and thinner.
I don't know. And it's just a bunch of BS because he and Adam Carolla are still best friends.
I would say, I'd say the best friends. I'd say they're friends. Adam definitely lets him do his own thing. I was wondering this. People who go on these things, remember, everybody has to toe the line. I wonder if some of these people just have more. I'd say they have nothing to lose. That's why they do. That's why they can do stuff like this. The jokes they tell you, they get real political. Like I don't want to say that Kimmel's a bad person, but I would say maybe he just wants the money more.
Well, look, what you're trying to be diplomatic and saying is, yes, his politics can be bought.
Yes.
Yeah, for $20 million a year, whatever like that, you can tell me what my politics are too.
Exactly.
I'll be honest.
If Marvel said they're gonna fix Spider-Man, bring back, and make Peter, Peter Dave or someone else like the ongoing Spider-Man, and let him be married again, but all I had to do was praise Dan Slott. I love you, Dan Slott. It's like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna do it, and no, screw it, let die, blah blah. No, I like I said, when it comes to stuff like that, no, but I don't know, man. It's moral story. Does money give you more happiness? Temporarily, and then you have more regrets. But what's attached to that money you're getting? So, like I said, if you live a comfortable life, sure, with money, but if you constantly have to throw away your morals to get the money, and then people around you have the same idea, cutthroat, you're kind of not going to be happy.
Well, obviously, Kimmel is light years more successful than Adam Carolla as far as like those two coming up and doing the Man Show together and everything.
I would say Kimmel. Only reason is because Kimmel basically kisses ass.
Well, right. I was saying, that was where I was going with that. I mean, there's no debating he's been more successful than Carolla. He's at the top of the food chain.
Yeah,
and no one watches his show. I mean, ABC might as well just light that money on fire.
Like I said, it's just getting funnier and funnier. The more people say, "Well, I follow the news." I'm the belief that basically the news media is basically is all the same uni party. Like you said, I mean,
we definitely found that out this week. But
let's talk about that.
And we're not here to. I want to say hello to Skip and Tosh, and say, chin up, my friend. Next year is our year.
Oh man.
Yeah, the Warriors are going to win that series. They've won 3 in a row, and
two bad things happened. We lost Jerry Springer, and we lost the beam.
Yeah, but like I said, if now anything can happen, they might get off the mat and win these last 2 games. I don't think so, but they are very good, and everybody else is going to be a year older. I mean, starting next year, next year is going to be the Nuggets and the Kings, because Memphis is going to go.
I try not to get too to invest in the sports because I know it's just going to reset the next year.
Well, I don't know what sense that just made, but
well, I've got no. Sure, it'd be great to see my home team. We root these guys to win. It's at this way. I look at sports. Honestly, I think some sports are rigged. But
I'm with you there, Skip. I'm hoping against hope that they can pull these last 2 games out. As I said, the idea of, let's put it this way: if the Warriors win this series, they can play round 2 without me because Steph Curry versus LeBron James. I'd rather have my teeth pulled with no Novocaine. And that's the bottom line. Because I said so.
All right.
Speaking of, but not yet. What the hell happened to your Bucks?
I don't know. I think as in the main guy G, isn't he injured?
He played. But he's still shouldn't have been enough to lose as a 1-8.
I don't know, man. Like
I
I said,
know you don't care. I'm just kind of doing a bit right now. All right, how many books did you get this week?
I think about 19 or 20.
Oh, that's far too many.
Or too many. Some of them were actually back issues.
Okay.
So I had to catch up. All right. Well, I'll go start with this. It's actually my pile here first before we get to look at it. Then I'll show you the other ones. Number 15. Photon, Monica Rambeau, issue 5. Kind of disappointing ending. I saw LK in our group was kind of upset. He basically saw that they changed her origins when they actually really didn't, because Warren Ellis did her or changed her power or reset origin back in 2007. So in the Agents of Hate book, I think it was he wrote. So I mean, like that didn't really defend me as much, because you know what, they did it back then, and like I said, the only thing about this book is that for 5 issues, and I'm paying like what, $4.99 or $3.99 per issue. Back in the day, this would have been a one shot. Because all it is basically telling you at the end is like basically that, oh, I'm stronger than I think of. It's basically like she basically had a nervous breakdown, caused the break. She caused the universe to start collapsing on itself, multiverse, whatever. And then at the end, she finally gets a hold of herself because she's she focuses on herself. So basically, yeah, self enlightenment, I'd say. But hey, look, Zach's here.
Yo, RDV's modem hasn't crapped out yet. I see.
Yeah, it will in a couple of seconds. Now you said it. So yeah, that's my number 15. Like I said, you're better off buying these as back issues for like $1 each,
or you're better off buying the Roger Stern Avengers that she was in.
Yeah, that too. If you already have that, but I'm saying if you want to read this story, it's basically a one-shot story, spread out into 5 books or 5
That's
issues.
That's the E-viewing book.
Yeah, wasn't offensively bad.
No.
I know you liked the first couple of issues.
I like any time you put Monica Rambeau in a comic book and she doesn't have to like share it with anybody. You know, I honestly, Monica is better than Carol. But
this current version of Carol, yeah.
I personally dislike Monica over Carol. It's just a personal choice.
No, I'm sorry. I think
I don't care if you're sorry what. It's my personal choice.
No, you're not allowed to have your personal choice.
Nope.
Zach doesn't like that. I like Monica Rambeau.
I like Monica Rambeau. I like Monica Rambeau. Look, she's from my hometown.
Both characters, when they were created, and before the industry became all about girls being perfect and besties, they were both great characters.
Like I said,
I would say neither one are now.
Marvel screwed up Monica back when they decided to call her Photon, bringing Dennis Vale back. They said they kept screwing over. Number 14, the last issue. It is 14 Hulk. With basically Ryan Otley having to take over the last couple of issues, Kate's had personal drama. I thought Ryan Otley handled it well. I mean, at the end, but the next one is Phil Kennedy Johnson, I think, taking over.
Phil Kennedy Johnson's taking over.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, what he's going to do. I mean, and also people were upset. People were upset about this Walter Series Kate's ignoring Ewing's run before this. Honestly, I would love to just go back to Savage Hulk because we got mid-tier writers, so I think they'd have better chance of writing that.
Was
right?
Al Ewing's the one where it got
More,
back to he turned into the Hulk at night?
yeah, I think
I kind of like that,
he
but
was a more well. The problem I had with that was Immortal Hulk is the fact that he was able to become Clayface.
Yeah, the Immortal Hulk would have been a fine little bit of comic book history if it had been billed as out of continuity from issue 1, because the stuff they did with the character, the superhero universe he was part of was just too far along. Because it was like a Jekyll and Hyde story. They could like cut him to pieces and put him in jars, and all the body parts were alive in the jars, and so I mean given everything that the character's been through, and then how do you reset from there? If, like I said, if you just treat that as just like a standalone, it's very well done. Aside from the couple issues where he goes off the SJW rails and has a little girl lecture the Hulk about white privilege, and then the anti-capitalist storyline. But
I gotta say this, for the Ryan Ottley bringing in Doctor Strange at the end kind of helped it out. I don't know if that was always a plan, but he brought in Doctor Strange to help him out with the entity that was possessing the Hulk. Basically told Bruce, don't blame the Hulk. The Hulk didn't really do all this. It was something else. So you can call that a cop out if you want to. But Ryan Ottley was left with 4 issues by himself because Donny Cates was not planned to leave. So he had some idea, but I think he kind of he had to fill in the blanks, with Donny, because you can tell someone a story, but unless you give them a specific story, it's kind of hard. And who's say that Marvel didn't say hey, let's change this, because Donny Cates is in there. He doesn't have as much pull probably as Cates does. So I don't know. Vampirella Strikes. This is issue 12. This is for number 13 book of the week. It's getting better. The last few issues have been kind of rough. I would say, actually, no. The last issue was better. And it seems to be going in this week, it got even better. It's going in the back in the good direction. Some ancient, evil god or demon god, is basically trying to, it's going around and trying to revive itself. And you said Vampirella is basically dealing with the dance, who are kind of not as I'd say non-biased police officers as they're supposed to be. They're kind of racist. So
what?
They're human first, as they've always been, kind of. So you get to see Vampirella teaming up with a werewolf creature, and now they're hunting down the serial killer that's basically been murdering bodies and stealing their souls. But it's getting better. I'd say the last ones were kind of just at that mid-level mark. This one is basically about between a 3.5 out of 5. All right, next one, number 12. Blade Runner. This is the B cover. This story has been it started off kind of I had to reread the first 3 issues because they've been releasing them I think once a month. So I tend to forget what's going on in this. I finally reread it, and I don't want to spoil it because I know Ash hasn't read it yet. So I'll have to wait a year.
I'll go ahead and spoil it.
Honestly, if you like Cyberpunk and you like the original Blade, this is a continuation of a character that's been since the 2019 run. This is the 3rd volume, I guess you see, of her journey. 2019, 2029, now 2039. This character, however, was not in the book. This is just a variant cover, which I'm kind of sad because I would hope that he'd come back. He's from the Blade Runner Origins. And we're just learning. Like I said, I love the Cyberpunk verse. If you like exploring stories, exploring more about that, you're gonna like it. It's still basically where the replicants are basically treated as dirt garbage, and you got the Blade Runners who want to run them down. So the ex lady who's a Blade Runner decided that she's basically gonna help the replicants because the replicants are actually not as evil as they're painted out to be. So You can say it's an activist story, but you know. All right. I think this is. Yeah, number 11. Yeah, and I ended up getting 2 covers because my shop originally only had this cover, which I was annoyed. I wanted this cover.
Oh.
I always want the cheesecake covers. I don't want the freaking like demon liver like ugly Spawn thing. This series, it's had its ups and downs for me. The last issue I was wondering if I was even gonna keep going with it, and because there's just so much crap going on in this series since issue 1. Like it's so hard to follow as far as what's going on. I only know there's like a, there's Cyborg Superman. Well, there's a Cyborg Spawn. That's evil. And then there's this other basic giant spawn beast that wants or demon that wants to bring hell onto Earth, and it's up to the Avengers or Spawn Avengers to basically to stop it. And then they come across a Hulk Spawn. Like I said, it's getting a little better. We still have no idea who the mole is. That's supposed to be that traitor in the team, but. So far, it's been a book without Spawn, and I'm enjoying it. Because Spawn's a dick every time he pops up in the book. All right. Number 10. I did not know what they expect from this book, but I was really annoyed because he has a freaking shirt on for some reason. Quill, he's that beard. They're going with the comedy team.
No, Gamora's his beard.
And that's Blastar. Looks
That's
a lot
not the
different.
comedy. That's not the comedy team. It's the movie team, pretty much. Plus Nova.
But it's still comedy. What it's Ralph Macchio writing this. No, it's not. It's not Danielson. It's the actual original writer from some of the other books back in Marvel Day. And Rocket, everyone was pretty much written in character except for, I want to say, Nova, Richard Rider, was kind of a noob in this. Basically, Blaster wants to come into from the negative zone, take over the positive zone, which is our they call it that, our world, our universe. And it's up to the Guardians of the Galaxy to come together and save the day. One of the guys who works for Blastar, he basically is lures him. He tells him, "I need to come here and help us free us from being oppressed by Blastar." They just basically end up saving the day. It's a one shot, kind of a little bit above mid story for me. Good art in here, but I don't care for Blastar's redesign. Now that being said, I don't know if he's appeared in anything since the 2 readings we did on the channel here.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy during the Abnett Landing run.
Did they retcon his look to look like this?
He looks the same. Like he looks like that. I mean, that's
not in.
What?
I'm just saying, when did they retcon his look? Because his look was never like this.
Okay,
that's
Star-Lord's
probably
look,
just
Star-Lord's look was never like that either. I
know that's. I'm
I
don't care about. I'm talking about Blastar. Blastar. Remember, he was basically Beast or whatever color he was. When the readings we read in a couple of weeks ago.
Well, that might have involved 5 minutes of research that they couldn't be bothered with.
Probably. Like I said, the most annoying thing was basically Nova acting like Nova from the cartoons, Disney XD, Sam, versus actually acting like Richard. Basically being a noob. And like I said, why doesn't Star-Lord have a shirt? What is the point of this? Are we going to get Chris Pratt with no shirt on this whole entire movie? With a jacket? Because that would be really weird. Some girls might like it, though. Beefcake, but not me. But yes, Blastar, whose first appearance was read on the Geeky Puppet Show.
By the way, it's an official live stream. Jackson is here.
Yay, Jackson!
I'm surprised Ashton tells us to start over. All right, number 9. This is another 3.5. It kind of went down a little bit, mainly because I'm just getting sick of anything mentioned of Doom with the X-Men. And
What is that?
This is the
That's Invincible Iron Man.
this is the Bob Layton connecting cover.
Oh,
So
It
one of them. It's yeah.
it looks too much like those toy thing covers that they were so big on a couple
Yeah.
years ago.
Kind of things that, and then a character they kind of pull, as Mario pointed out, we were discussing this earlier today. They pulled a Marvel, basically MCU version of Tony Stark by the reels of his dad being discovered by in a hangar by the main villain, which I can't even bother to remember what his name is because he's just a pink, another useless X-Men villain. So anyway, so it's getting worse again. There is a giant Sentinel armor, basically Iron Man armor now. That's going to be because since Tony doesn't know the company, this X-Men villain basically he's building giant Iron Man Sentinels. He's going to send to Krakoa.
What future Pulitzer Prize winning writers doing Iron Man now?
Do you forget? It's not Hacksaw.
Oh, it's generic Duggan.
Yes, generic Duggan.
Yeah, I was having lunch today with the guy I work for, and
yeah,
we were trying to. Okay, do you know what the Mendoza line is in baseball?
Is that where the pitcher's not allowed to go across?
It's a 200 average. It's like it's like below mid, but it was named after a guy named Mario Mendoza, so it kind of took on a life of its own. In football, we kind of gave the like the Dalton line. If you're better than Andy Dalton, you're a good quarterback. If you're not, your team's in trouble.
You said Dalton in sports ball, kind of.
So we were going said, what is the Mendoza line for comic book writers? And generic Duggan was who we settled on.
Greg Land and Gary Duggan working together. That's the dream team.
Look, I'd rather have Greg Land tracing porn stars than Tumblr art. Plain and simple.
I'll agree to that.
All right, number 8. Been sticking with this. Has been an interesting story. I'm not how many issues are going to speak. I know it's an ongoing. At least I thought it is.
Real quick, Zach. While Venkman drones on about this book, I couldn't care less about. I want you to think who would be your Mendoza line for writers.
I gotta say that's a shame, Eric. You would actually enjoy this.
Oh, am I like it? You could have been holding up, Watchmen Year 1, and I would have used that crap line on that.
How many writers do I get to choose from for this?
Well, I'll just say it's kind of like who would be, because it's kind of like a process of weeding out.
Remember, kids, I have limited internet here.
Well, that's not a Zach problem. That's not an Eric problem. That's a you problem. Ash, I would. That's a good choice, but he seems to now that Marvel's out of the Cullen Bunn business, he seems to have picked up his game a little bit.
A lot of writers
he might have.
Once they move to like the indies or their own stuff, they seem to get better.
Yeah, he might be on top of the Dugan line.
Cullen has actually been kicking ass on his other Scout book by Scout Comics. It's
the Chilling Adventures was not that good.
I'm not talking about that.
I know, but I'm saying that was his latest thing, and
yeah, that was
okay, but it wasn't.
But that wasn't his own creation, though. The one he's doing is oh crap! It's the vampire one. I forgot what it's called. It'll come to me later when I find it again. But yeah, it's he's been doing the vampire thing, and like if you like 30 Days a Night, this is better. Man, as far as I think the story's a little bit better, and the art's tremendously better. Yeah, 30 Days.
Remember, Ash, your Duggan line can't be too good, otherwise it wouldn't be the Duggan line.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is continuing with the whole Russian American spy, rogue spy, American or ex-CIA spy goes to Russia, helps out the son of a Russian cop who was working for a neo-Nazi gangster, and basically she's trying to get him out of the country as a favor to his father, who was her lover, and the cops are coming down, and so is the neo-Nazi gangster, and basically wants to. They all want this kid, and just trying to get him out of the country and it's a big giant mess. And then there's the CIA sent someone to basically a cleaner to come go after her.
Hey,
So
let me interrupt you. What is the AWA book that kind of has that same plot? That like the second issue came out a couple weeks ago, and I can't remember what it was, but it was Diodato's doing the art, and somebody good was doing the writing. But
I know Diodot has a new book, yeah, but I'm not sure what it is though.
if anybody in the chat can remember that, please put that in the chat because if not, I'll have to walk all the way into the next room to look up the first issue, and I know I missed the second,
Yeah,
and I'm aggravated.
like I said, I like this. It's a crime, spies, and it all takes place in Russia.
It's something border, maybe like red border or something like that. Is it
Borderline by Banana.
No, damn it, this is gonna drive me nuts.
Border Town.
Yeah, shut up, Beckman.
On the border.
That's a good Al Stewart song.
Well, it's actually nice. It's a strip club by me. On the border. It's been around for 30 years.
Border of what?
Good lord.
Well, the border of leaving Milwaukee County.
Red Zone. Thank you, Black Hat. Yeah, I missed the second issue. Damn it.
I don't know. Like I said, it's a very indie book, and I came across it, and I was like, dude, this is actually really cool. So I'm always looking for other. It's a follow up too. That story is a follow up. That's like a second volume. So there's a volume before this. I got to go on a website and buy it individually because I cannot find it anywhere. All right, number 7.
Jackson. I'm 60. Remember? Of course, I know Al Stewart.
Detective Comics. Didn't care for the second story. But the second story was kind of boring and kind of stupid. At the same time. First story, Ram V. Seems kind of like a filler issue to me a little bit. Then again, I'm not to be insulting anybody who likes Ram V. I like Ram V too. It just felt like it was a really quick read, It basically the next issue I think is going to pop up all the action. So, all right, number 6, Torrent. Another a solid issue, loving it. Justin Greenwood's art is just getting better and better, and so is the story. And I hope you would have picked this up. Either one of you.
I did. Because I listen to Mr. and Tosh when he talks.
Yes. All right. So that's there. And then we'll go to my top 5.
Hey, Cap, jump on.
Oh, one of you guys will have to send the link because I tried to do anything. It's going to stall my internet.
Zach, do you know how to do that?
Zach knows how to send links.
Yeah, hang on.
Do it, Gerald.
That's right.
Do it,
I'm Gerald.
do it
Yeah,
now.
right.
I told him he's pretty much my Gerald A. If anybody's watched Crowder, because they always make fun of Gerald.
Yeah.
Crowder always calls him. He's like, "Yeah, you're a Nazi." He's like, because my blonde hair and blue eyes. It's like they're always tearing him down.
And then he called me Englentine Jr. like an hour later.
Because some of the things you do with the links, you post the wrong links.
This is
All
also
right.
true, but it doesn't excuse you.
So you're now become Geraldine. It's great. All right, number 5 is a book that inspired a friend of ours. I like to call him Joey. Joe Carell wrote this. There is issue 5. I gotta say, this is a book that I did not know when I was picking it up what it was going to be about. When I first saw this series, I only saw the 4th issue with the car, So I was like, all right, looks like some kind of action thing here to go on. Picked them up, read through them, and I gotta say, this is actually a really, really fun book with a little bit of a supernatural in it, I guess you'd say. Yeah, guy caught up in a mess, trying to save someone, kind of reminds me of. I was thinking about it now. Do you remember the first Transporter movie?
I've never seen any of those.
You've never seen any Transporter movies? Oh man, well, listen to a little spoiler. He was a guy. He basically had to transport things without question. He needed a car or something, deliver something, put it as Trump. He didn't look at it. This story takes a little bit from that with the girl.
Well, that's also a plot point in Mike Hammer, Kiss Me Deadly. There's something in the trunk and Repo Man. Remember what happens when they open the trunk at the end of that? So
yeah. You said so. Keep that in mind. It's a little bit like Transporter, but there's more to it than that. It takes some elements from those things, and I'm just loving it, man. Going through. I told Joe how much I liked it this morning after I read it.
Joe's a good writer. I mean, I said
he is. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here.
Okay, he paused.
We paused again.
We did, yeah.
All
More
right.
pausing. We're freaking you out now. It's like, oh shoot, his router's going out.
My router goes out. They'll always be freaking out. It'll be pixels. This is gonna go on forever.
Like his fingers?
Nothing's as long as his fingers.
That's true.
No, that's true.
All right. Number 4.
As a girl in the Philippines, maybe find out. Am I right, fella?
Hey!
Oh, that's horrible. But funny, but horrible. All right. Number 4. You should know what this is. It's Green Arrow. I can see what I know, Brain. You said you didn't like the second half, or at least the ending.
No. I'll when I do my book and a half, I will talk about that. There was no like or dislike first or second half of it.
I will just say this: what happens between Roy and Leanne in this is pretty much how I feel about any other editors. Like, nope, you can't see each other. Pull them apart. Especially with those two characters, they've had those characters kind of separate from each other for a while now. Everything they've done with Roy and like this Leanne just being over Catwoman, and just like it's like I said, it was a really touching moment. Brought this book up from a 3 to about a 4 to me. Oliver Queen at the end, there's a line here with the Martian Manhunters. I can't remember what it says, but he says, actually, it wasn't him. I think it was the Martian Manhunters. What they called? Not called Martian Man. The Manhunters.
The Manhunters.
The Manhunters, not the Martian.
The Manhunters. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Manhunters, where they say no man can escape the Manhunters. I think they said no one can escape the Manhunters.
No. They said no man.
That's the thing they always used to say no man can escape the Manhunters. That was their slogan.
Well, he in Ollie corrects it. Don't you mean no person?
Yeah,
and that's it's
that's classic. Yeah. Hey, Frugal.
Hi, can you hear me? Okay.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
That bugged me.
Ollie correcting him though is basically Ollie though. Ollie is a freaking progressive.
See, here's the Ollie's not a progressive. He's a liberal. That's the thing that most writers don't get right about him. But but here's the problem. When DC takes a sledgehammer over and over again and beats their politics, and even if it was meant to be clever, it's like he says, well, sometimes you see SJW ghosts. Well,
I don't. For me, I wasn't really affected by it. It
annoyed me. I said it didn't ruin the story. It just annoyed me.
Yeah. So, Frank Cho, man, I love Frank Cho's covers, and it's fishnets on Black Canary. Anytime we can get Black Canary and fishnets by Frank Cho is a win for me.
Is that a new issue?
Yeah, it's Green Arrow issue 1. It's the Frank Cho variant.
Okay, I didn't see that cover. That's why.
Well,
I read the
issue.
comic
book shop, you'll see it.
Well, I read the issue. I didn't have that cover. I don't have that version.
I know.
Hey, did you ever get that package I sent you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good.
Unfortunately, it's not going to work for me because my microphone is pretty heavy.
Yeah, but didn't it come with a microphone?
It did, but I want to use my microphone.
Oh,
my bad.
Well, no, it's all right. Feel free
I'll try it out on my other computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just I'm actually going to get one for this one so I can hang it. So.
Wait,
we're
hold
all
up
in
the
favor
back
of
there.
anything that makes you sound better.
Can you hold that back? Can you hold that up again? I want to see the back of it. I want to see the.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so it's USB only.
USB only, yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, I would have dude. I mean, I don't even know if that like, it's a nice arm. I would use it, but I don't know if you'd be able to hold this. It's like a 3-pound thing.
Well, have you hooked it up and tried it? See how it sounds.
I was going to hook it up, but like I said, I did not have. I was going. Like I said, I didn't attach the microphone to it though.
Yeah, give it a try, and you might like it. If not, just throw it back in the box and throw it in a dumpster or something.
I'm gonna film it, and I'm gonna hit it with a baseball bat, stomp on it like Crowder does.
There you go.
No, anything. I was actually because you put. Virgo originally sent me a microphone stand and everything, and he put a soundboard in there. I was like, dude, how do I get this soundboard? That's the one thing, because the manual says like how to operate it, but it doesn't tell me how to hook it up though.
It's just USB. You just plug it in and it should always detect. Yeah.
And then like, do I have the wires, those little wires are those only for like hooking up a phone?
Yeah, they're for different stuff. Yeah, if you want to hook up a phone to it or anything else to have other audio,
But
it'll
if
say right on the back of it. I think it'll show. You'll see the USB. You'll plug that into your computer, and then the mic will go. It'll show a picture. I think of it, which one it goes into.
Yeah. So I have the only USB mic though. As I'm saying, can I use the soundboard without using a microphone? If I just want to play the sounds.
I don't know. That depends on the computer if they'll have an issue with that or not. That's why I said try out the mic. You might like it. If you don't, I understand.
I might like it.
You might like it. Didn't mean to interrupt the comic books here. Sorry.
No, that's like I said. I definitely gotta try out the microphone because it's great to have and actually as a backup too in case this thing ever craps out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it might fall right behind your router. How long have you had your current microphone, Vinkman? 7 years, 8 years?
No, I just bought this last year.
Oh, okay.
And then I have the other one I got the J Labs one like 2 years ago.
So he's had for 7 dog years, Zach.
7 dog years. Okay.
It's on its way out.
So Cap, do you have a take on Green Arrow one way or another?
I thought it was decent art, good cast of characters in the book. I like the cast of characters. Pretty fitting characterization. It's off to a good start.
So what's your grade for Roy's costume in this?
For Roy's costume? Yeah.
Because I was not feeling it. I was just like, we might as well just put him in basically a red jumpsuit,
Yeah, it's nothing real special.
Can one of you 3 guys who I'm sure have read way more DC than me in the last several years tell me why he's got 2 arms again?
He died and came back from the dead.
Because they saw what they did with Robert Kirkman did with what's his name, Rick. Oh, he lost.
I was actually soliciting a serious answer because I don't know because
I don't know
he
either.
had the Bucky arm for years, and now he's fine. So, how does coming back like at DC? Is there like a room you go into and you get to pick a new body when you come back, or
maybe it has something to do with Flashpoint? Maybe something changed.
Could be.
Maybe.
Just being thankful because in the Young Justice cartoon, there's 3 Roys.
And how did Lee and whatever her name is? How'd she get to be a teenager? Did she go off to some other like
Bendis
battle world or something? Was she hanging out with John Kent? Or
I think it's just been a long amount of time since anyone's seen her.
Right, I get that, but but Roy hasn't gotten any older.
Well,
so
Roy was dead for a while. Heroes of Crisis, but before that, yeah.
I mean, if she's like 14, 15 or whatever, and Roy's still in his mid-20s, I'm not great at math.
I couldn't tell you. She popped up in was it Ram V's Catwoman? His shoes, the Manchester mask on.
Mm.
Before that, the last I remember seeing her, she was dead, wasn't she?
Leanne was dead.
Yeah,
I know. I'm hoping they explain that because I have no problem with the character. And like I said, as someone who's watched soaps for 40 plus years, Maranya used a term that I didn't think anybody else knew called soap opera rapid aging syndrome, SORAS. And Liam definitely got SORAS'd. I just want to know how. Like I said, I'll take any explanation that makes any sense.
Like I said, I have no idea. But
somebody said it looked like Cry for Justice, which was the miniseries where Leanne died and Roy lost his arm.
Yeah.
Somebody was just like, oh, they just completely forgot about it and decided to retcon all of Cry for Justice.
I would say
nobody would have a problem with that.
No one would mind.
That had nice art. but
Well,
It had
holy
beautiful art.
I
shit, did that
want to
story
say
suck.
it's probably gonna be revealed as
Prometheus?
retcon because Roy was
Really?
Roy was shocked to see her.
Wasn't that James Robinson during his crack years?
I think so. I believe it was.
I don't know.
I remember when it was coming
Alright.
out.
My number 3. It's a little bit strange.
Oh, and so now, did you see Miranya's last quote there?
Whether he did.
Anybody else just immediately think of that? From you, I learned from watching you.
I know, yeah. This was an interesting book. I wasn't sure where they're going to go from the first issue because the first issue was kind of rough. It was kind of like really like, oh, I'm alive again. We can do things, Gary. Let's set up, and then now they're basically like, I honestly I don't know why Stephen Strange hates Moon Knight. I really don't care. To me, it's not a real big deal. But like Moon Knight basically said, "Hey, I can't help this kid. This couple came to me. Their kid, her daughter won't wake up. This seems more like a you thing." So like he texts Clea because apparently Clea Strange, like everybody has her number apparently, except Steven. No.
Why would he need her number if they live in the same house? Just saying.
Well, yeah, he follows around. Yeah. No.
That's
Anyways,
right. Though. Moon Knight was more of a defender of travelers. Like that was the role.
yeah. I think they said in the book because he says who he serves like the what's Khonshu or
Khonshu.
Khonshu, yeah, and he doesn't have respect for that, whatever. Anyway, so they basically go into Earth and the kids of the dream is they notice that her astral form is gone. Basically, her soul's missing. So they go into the Nightmare realm and they find Nightmare pinned to a tree and saying, "Steven, I told you everyone, leave me alone. I'm defeated." So basically, we get the idea that someone's going around posing as Stephen Strange, and then they find her astral projection form as they go a little deeper. It's like basically going into the microverse. In this kind of, they go further in, and like, let's go even further. And then they come across her soul, which is like an armor thing, and they basically help her wake up. But Steven wants to know who's going around impersonating me. And secondly, as soon as the end, Wong appears on the Magic Titantron and says, "Hey, so and so this dimension has been murdered." And Steven looks at Clea because Clea was seen last issue, basically. Well, I think it was, I can't remember if they showed her, but someone went and murdered the guy that they basically confronted, the villain in last issue, and that guy's dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting to see what's going on. But overall, I'm not sure if this lives up to Dalton for being. I thought it was entertaining as reading the Surgeon Supreme. If you remember that little miniseries,
I do. That's one where he had the axe, isn't it?
where his hands were restored.
Oh, okay.
And he was basically helping patients that had otherworldly problems, mystical problems.
Gotcha.
All right. Number 2 was a fun book. I've never looked at Travis Charest's earlier art, but I got the art it was fantastic all the way through. Enjoyed this series. I'm not going to spoil anybody because I really want you guys to actually go on and pick this up and read it if you're not reading it. But if you want to know the gist, is basically this Korean woman basically learned how to create superpowers, and basically she's choosing the most honorable people, I guess, the most selfless people, basically, from each country to represent their country, to build a team. We don't know what the team's going to do or what. All I know is that her ex-husband has been approaching each of them at the end of each issue, in basically trying to sway them over to his side. So each issue focuses on a different part, different recruits. So we don't get to see what happens with what they decide. I'm assuming that probably won't happen till the very end. But overall, there's a different artist every week. Next week is Oliver Coipel.
Olivier
Coipel.
Yeah.
Travis Charest was, I think he was. I know he did some work for DC about 30 years ago. I think he did some very early Image stuff. So I was actually surprised to see his name pop up again 30 years later.
Yeah,
You see,
I saw your
Mark Miller on Twitter was like,
Who
Here
should
I
I
am
pull
sitting
next?
at home wondering who's the next artist I should take
Yeah,
from the book
just-
two.
just
And
had
it's a
lunch.
picture of Tony from The Sopranos with the
Who
cigar.
should I steal next from Marvel and DC? I said Marco Cicchetto since he's leaving Daredevil.
I was like, King move, sir. King move.
All right, so my number one is kind of obvious. If you don't know what it is, I'd be kind of shocked. Zach, you probably guess without cheating. You should know what my number one is, right?
Thinking of the ones you talked about.
Oh,
Nothing
you
that-
didn't know?
Nothing that I have.
Oh,
Remember,
if all the books
I
come out this week, there's been one I've been excited about the most. Every time it comes out. And
how much vodka was in that lemonade? Golly, I don't remember.
number one,
Is it a Walking Dead reprint?
we're gonna throw it back. David
Justin.
Mitchell and Venom.
Oh, that's right. Venom. That's right.
Fun series. Nick Fury being drawn like David Hasselhoff in his book. I'm really loving this 90s basically Venom with Sable. Getting classic Venom, it's like, Sable wants him like, hey, work with, you can be a new recruit for my Wild Bunch, because one of my guys, one guy is he's never gonna walk again, and the other one's pretty much dead. So it's like the way you took down those guys, and it's like, I want you to recruit. He's like, well, sorry. He's like, sorry, we don't really, we're not, here for a hire. And then she's like, I'll pay you this. He's like, and we'll give you a place to sleep, because he's been sleeping in the sewers because he's wanted for the police. He can't really go anywhere. People recognize him. So he's like, okay, because he wants to help out this young youth, basically youth. He's been this kid, help him out. He's like, he wants to do right by paying him for his college. So he's a good kid, but he got mixed up with the wrong people. The Vanguard, who she was actually fighting against, and so they're gonna probably use that kid to get to Eddie. But seeing the helicarrier in here too, seeing Nick Fury being back to being normal Nick Fury, it just felt great. And like I said, David Mitchell is just fun. And what you see in the cover, it's kind of what you get on the inside too. So, that's my number one. But I did have some other books, just a couple. I picked up Wesley Snipes' Blade series, the Exile.
Oh yeah.
And I gotta say, I really have been digging some of these covers.
When they ring that up, is the tax optional?
Tax optional. I don't know about that, but I mean, this is the Whatnot Publishing Companies. It's $4.
Nice joke. Bravo.
Thank you, sir.
I would have hit the laughter button, but I forgot to unmute first.
So basically, what you're going to see in this book, a little bit of the art here, is you're basically kind of getting like almost like a Blade Runner with Blade, and some aliens basically replacing people, and just like it's straight up 90s like Blade kind of feel. The movie how it was action, cop all on his basically he was a good cop. Something happened, he messed him up. His wife ended up leaving him, and because nobody believed in what he saw, and now he's basically trying to just live up to his father in his father's shadow, being a good cop, and he can't trust anybody,
Does he take his sunglasses off in this?
He's not wearing sunglasses in this.
Oh wow, yeah, because in Blade 3, he refused to take his sunglasses off.
If he doesn't take his sunglasses off, he's not Blade.
It's because he was cooked as mine. And then the other incentive is you also get out in the back is you get the Astrobots preview. So if anybody's looking really forward to that, really cool covers, van covers.
Reminds me of the Demolition Man.
That's basically what it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And here's the current one. There's issue 3 coming this week.
Ah, okay. Yeah, each
So-
cover is a spoof.
Like a
off
movie
the-
trope, yeah. they showed the. I don't think they showed that in here at the back. Each one basically has a soundtrack for the graphic novel. You click on this, get a free. You can listen to it. Yeah, I don't think they showed the other covers in here. Like I said, overall, you can see right here. This is basically what he looks like. That's the main character, and that's like his partner on the right. It's kind of like it's someone's going around serial killer ripping out people's vertebrae, their spines.
His partner is Rico from the WWF.
That's the second part.
That was
That's
for you.
I know.
You know why Zach doesn't get that right?
Because he doesn't want
Because
to
I'm not
be
Because he
cool.
wants to be spit on.
So,
I have to admit, I didn't get it. I don't know who Rico is.
Ha ha! See,
Yeah.
I'm not alone. I'm not alone. It's not just me.
you ever heard of the Rico Act?
I know
Oh,
what the
well, he said
Act
Rico in
is.
WWF. I thought it was a character or something.
It was.
There is actually a RICO Act or a RICO law, like in legal terms.
Yeah.
Dean Martin was in a movie called Mr. Rico.
And so they named a character in the WWF Rico.
Well, it was RICO. He was like a flamboyantly, maybe
Rico?
gay guy.
He's a short guy.
But
Okay.
but it doesn't change the fact that Zach don't want to be cool.
I'm plenty cool. Thank you very much.
According
I'm plenty.
The only thing with this, it's like this is straight out of like Stallone's playbook because we get this in here. Get to see his spine, but they got to show him showering. So I was like, I was not expecting that in the book. So there you go, guys. It's a
hey,
beefcake.
Venkman, can you do polls on this channel?
If there's a channel owner,
Yeah, like E does.
I can't. Only the channel owner can do that. I'm only a manager on this.
No, I mean, can you do? Only Pixel can do that.
Yeah,
So
I
you
can't do
you
it.
can't put up one that says Zach, not cool or really not cool.
That's his ex-wife calls her in the middle of the night and she's with her. You know, he's just trying to talk to her. Like, it just really feels like a movie. It heavily feels like it's a '90s kind of action, kind of like a Blade in the sense style version. You know, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Blade Runner. He can't trust anyone. He's kind of his own, and people who he thought or who he could trust can't trust. Wesley Snipes is helping with the story, along with Adam Lawson is writing it, and Keith Aram. You know, and then the art's by Gabriel Esquivel Santos, who did the cover for was it this one? So the main cover of that. I said I've been like I said I picked it up on a whim. I was like, you know what? They had it there. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, book 3. Did they have 1 and 2? Because if they didn't, I probably would have passed on it. But
Let me ask you a question.
I'll maybe give you an answer. I don't know.
I said, did you find that more appealing to you because you'd found so many other books that week? If you'd had a week where you were struggling to even find like 5 or 6, would you have picked up Exiles? Because I think it's like the more, whenever there's a big week, you want it to be even bigger because everything looks. It's like going to a buffet really hungry.
Well, no, I went to my other. I went to the reason I went to the second shop. I would have even got this because I was going to. They didn't have ambassadors at my first shop, so I had to go to this other shop and go on my way. When I was picking it up, I was like, "What the heck is this?" I saw this. I was like, "Wesley Snipes." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's a cover." I wanted to give it a shot. You know, I read the Keanu Reeves one. What's good words could this be? And I always liked Wesley Snipes movies. So gave it a shot, and I said, "You know what? I'll buy all 3. If I don't like it, I can send it to somebody, donate it, whatever. Somebody else wants to read it." But
Okay, because I was having another one of my everything looks good weeks. So I came out of World's Finest retirement. Bought the Superman, bought the Green Arrow.
Yeah.
I said there's some weeks when I wouldn't have done that, and I was just curious if you find that also. The more you find, the more you want on top of that. Even
like I said, it was a fluke that was even there. I wasn't even looking for it, and the fact that it's Wesley Snipes. I like Wesley Snipes as an actor. So I mean, like I was kind of glad that I liked it, as much as I did like because it felt like a '90s,
Okay,
It
so
felt
you were
like
going to get that either way.
pretty much.
Okay.
Well, if I would have had ambassadors at my other shop, I wouldn't even know. I would.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
okay, because I mean, it's not, there's no setup here. I'm just kind of curious, like when I go to conventions, sometimes they'll take me an hour to spend a dime, but once I get going, it's like opening the floodgates, and sometimes I think your new books are the same way. If I can find, once I get started, everything looks good.
If they would have had that the Carmine Infantino book there, the trade, I wouldn't have bought these. I would got that instead and be like, I'm walking out with that at the door. Screw ambassadors.
Well, I would look for that on, I said some kind of trades or something.
I'm going to because I guess when they release the next Deadly Class volume, I need to get another book, so I figured I might get that. Last book.
I'm very happy to see you showing interest in that Carmine Infantino. Though I'm not being totally serious.
Yeah.
You know why Zach isn't interested. Carlito, same thing. No reason to say it again.
I mean, Carmine. He's the same guy that's Infantino. Falcone.
And he dated Shirley for years.
Yes.
The big ragu.
Last one I picked up because you know what? It's been a while. I've been deprived of Robert Kirkman, so I got the Science Dog issue, one shot here, 12, and I just wanted to read it. And I was like, it's a long one little story. I can't remember how it was. This was only $6. I was shocked. I'm like, I thought it was gonna be a $10 book. Whenever they do these thick ones, they have multiple stories in here. It's only $6. Jeff Johns still has a story in here too. He's I think it's the conclusion of his. It's called The Blizzard. Then you have Greg Rucka and Leonardo Fernandez doing the Old Guard. The conclusion of Red Stitches by Brendan Fletcher and Erica Henderson. Scotty Young and Nate Pico is concluding their Stupid Fresh Mess. New story called Dirty Deeds by Joe Perrette and Cliff Richards. Conclusion of Gehenna by Patrick Kindleman, Maurizo Rosenwig, and Jim Campbell. Then there's Vince Kukua has a book or story called Remembrance. Mascots by Jason Latour, which was an interesting read. Chance Meeting by Eric Stevenson and Justin Norman. And then Billy Dogma Conclusion by Dean Haspiel. This is 12 of 12. This is the last one of these images, 1 through 12. Like I said, it's just flipping through it. Like, this is mascots. It's just some trippy stuff. He's just talking. I mean, I shared it on the Discord group if you want to look at through it. This just that one story is interesting. Look, it's Eric Breen. Yeah. The peanuts one was kind of funny too. He's like at the bottom. He's like, "Yeah, wouldn't selling peanuts be more our speed?" It's psychiatric help. So I don't know. Nostalgia Bates, he talks about stuff, and he has like the Jokers in there. Fantastic artist, but I don't know. Like I said, I've only been reading the one. I only read about it for the one story. I might read some of the other stories too. I might go back and hopefully the Jeff Johns ones are collected in their own separate book. Look kind of cool. But yeah, that's it for the week for me. Well, I got the issue 8 of this Miss Meow, which I'm gonna read 1 through 8 after done with this. And then, did anybody get this?
Negative.
Nope.
Did somebody own the original?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm glad you said did, not does, because then
does. That would... Like I said, I don't know. I was like this. I don't know what you still own. No.
I said that'd been more depressing because that's yet another high dollar book that I used to have and don't have anymore.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to go next?
Oh, I'm
Go,
gonna
Breen.
wait till after Zach because I'm
What?
just basically. I only bought I got Green Arrow. We already talked about that, and I
Yeah,
got
but you-
Torrent, and so I'm just gonna wait and show some stuff that I picked up this week.
Oh, okay. You got some big back issues or something. Okay.
Figuratively and literally, as you will see when I show them.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, I've only got 6 books here. Do I? Or is it 8? No, I think it's 6. Might be 7.
Well, you didn't
We'll
ask
find
me
out.
to count them, sir.
We'll find out. All right. Here's one I know that. Oh yeah, Tehillim asked a good question. Frugal, would you like to go ahead?
Oh, feel free to go first.
Okay. I'll fly through these. We've got bottom of the list here. We got Clobbering Time. This is number 2 by Mr. His name's not on here. This is the variant. Steve Scroce or Scroce. Good story. The art is very visceral. It kind of reminds me of Ryan Otley, just a little less polished. It's pretty fun. Funny. The Thing goes to Krakoa for like some mutant superhuman relations speech, and it ends up being almost like this whole TED Talk thing, and he has to wear an earpiece to remind him how to like stay calm when he gets confronted and like wants to get angry. I got annoyed at the first half because there are some mutants that say, well, with respect, Mr. Grimm, before you were turned into the Thing, you were a cis white male, and I was like, okay, I'm all about to check out here. But the back half of the story saved it. It was entertaining enough with the Thing and Wolverine fighting against this other guy from another universe. On top of that, I got the cover that I wanted on the first try.
You're lucky.
Yeah. Scorch number 17. Yeah, there's a Hulk spawn now. Okay. I just want Gunslinger spawn, but if you're going to give me Hulk spawn, okay, that's cool, I guess. I do kind of like that there's like a plot, and right now, because it felt like for a while they were just like stalling. Now we know like who the big bad is. We know like what's going on, what the Scorched have to do. So I appreciated that. Good art. Story's pretty good. That was number 6. So yeah, we do have 5. So we're on the top 5.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I was getting like, where is this going with this Scorch book? And then finally, like this issue felt like, oh, so much needed.
Yeah. It was a nice little shot in the arm that needed.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Shot in the arm. I was talking about boosters.
Detective Comics. This is number, God, how high up are we? 1071? 1071. There it is right there. Good issue. I felt like this would have gone better paired with the other issue Ram V did, where he talks about how the Al Ghuls are connected to the Orgums. I felt like it would have paired up with that real nicely. I gotta say, I did appreciate seeing another villain that I haven't seen in DC comic in a while. I appreciated seeing him pop up because he makes sense here. I feel like.
How do you pronounce his name though? What's the correct pronunciation?
I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to spoil if there's any readers in the audience.
Let's just say that he pops up everywhere.
His power is longevity. That's his big superpower.
There's 2 villains in there, actually. If you think about it.
Well, yeah, that's true. We've seen one, but this is the first time we see the other one. So yeah, really good though. I did enjoy it. Like I said, I think it would have just gone better paired with that other issue where Ram V digs into like the past history between the Orgums and the Al Ghuls. I feel like this would have gone nicely with that. Let's see, number 4. Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the Bane of Blastar one-shot. I got the variant cover right here. As far as one-shots go, I enjoyed it as far as one-shots go. I do Star-Lord not wearing a shirt does bother me. Drax, it makes sense, but Star-Lord, it does bother me.
Drax was wearing a jacket.
Well, yeah, but his jacket is unzipped though. Same as Star-Lord. Star-Lord's wearing a jacket. It's just unzipped and there's no shirt underneath. I think they started doing that after what's his name made Star-Lord bi and what is it, like non-monogamous or whatever. But
polyamorous, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, where you have like multiple
Which is
partners. Well, he's in space, so
yeah.
You
Well,
tell him that.
So I gotta ask you, how long did it take you for you to realize that Richard Rider was wearing a jacket over his?
Not long. It's on the cover.
Well, mine doesn't have that on mine.
Oh well. Not very long. Yeah, so I liked it. I mean, it is gonna be the movie Guardians lineup because obviously the movie's coming out. It's a big deal. I did like seeing Richard Rider. I'd like seeing Nova actually on the Guardians team because he's been like Guardians adjacent, but he's never been on the team itself. So I did appreciate seeing that. And yeah, I like seeing Blastar as the bad guy. I don't think I've seen Blastar in a book since the Civil War era.
Did you catch
of
the
Guardians.
Lanning throwback talking about like Mantis using Mantis to
Yeah.
courses and join the team?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they talked about that. Yeah, no, I didn't enjoy the. I did catch that little shot, that little callback. I
Yeah,
thought it was
it caught me off guard when I saw. It. I was like, and I kept thinking like, is the jacket part? Like, is that like the way Quill's design? Is that based off the video game?
The jacket?
Remember he had he looks more like a rocker in this.
Maybe the artist took some inspiration from the video game. Maybe I don't know. He's got a full beard though. That he.
Yeah, it's like
They haven't had him wear the mask like the comic mask.
No, he didn't wear it at this issue.
He didn't wear that in this one. Yeah, that was a little weird, but whatever. He had the element gun, so I appreciate that.
No,
I appreciate them giving it limits, though. I appreciate that because otherwise it's just like too OP.
Is the expert on the element gun, but the element gun took time to recharge in this issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I appreciated that because if you don't give it time to recharge, you just become way too powerful.
Because I've always thought it was unlimited.
Yeah, and then you'd be way too powerful. I appreciate them adding this restriction to it.
So that's new,
as far as I know.
Okay. Continue.
All right. But yeah, I like I said, as a one shot, I appreciated it. I felt the writing. I actually thought you would have liked it more. The writing seemed to be more in line with like the older books that you like, where it's just like a lot of exposition and a lot of telling that goes with the showing. I don't dig that quite so much, but
Rocket was out of character too. He's like, let's get a pig group shot and a hug and all. I was like,
yeah.
What is going on? This isn't my Rocket.
Yeah. Number 3. We've got Torrent issue number 3 for number 3. Yeah, this was really cool. I really got some really good Punisher vibes kind of from this. Yeah, so the heroine finds out. So on the one hand, I feel like it takes a shot at the justice system in America, and then on the other hand, it also takes a shot at, like, I think Guggenheim tried to do like a gun buying, like a little jab, because there's like a thing in there where it's like anybody can buy this military grade gun or something. I was like, okay, Guggenheim, I see what you're trying to do because you did that whole gun control episode of Arrow. I could see this coming a mile away. Other than that, though, I did really appreciate this issue. Basically, the girl, she goes through she tries to do things the right way, the legal way, through the justice system. And basically, the guy who orchestrated the killing of her husband, kidnapping of her son, gets to walk away for now because there's no way that they can have evidence, that they can't get anything that sticks to them. So I appreciate the steps that she takes to try to like take vengeance and justice into her own hands. Yeah, I thought it was really well done. I liked the cliffhanger. The cliffhanger looked really cool. So yeah, Torrent, I'm digging it. I did not think I would be liking a Guggenheim book this much, but I have really been enjoying it. Number 2, I got the last issue at my LCS. I was really jazzed about that. Ambassadors number 3. Man, I loved Ambassadors number 2, and this one was just as good. I really dug this one. You see on the cover, the ambassadors that get picked for France. It's a single mom and her son. It's actually really interesting. We haven't seen any of the heroes take on sidekicks, but the one for France gets to take her son on as a sidekick. And his code name is Paris. So she's France, he's Paris. It's kind of clever little way they do that. But yeah, really cool issue. I've liked 2 and 3. 1 was the one that I was least enthused about. I think it's just because it's going into explaining the Korean scientist that comes up with everything. But like all the other heroes in the story so far, I've really, really liked. This one was really cool because there's like the mom and like her, like, because people send in requests to be the one that gets the superpowers, and so this one from France, her like resume or her request, whatever you want to call it, I thought it was really good. It was really touching, and then the whole story from there I felt flowed really, really well. And my number one book, I didn't get the Frank Joe because the Frank Joe would have been like $1 or $2 extra, but I did get Green Arrow #1 from Joshua Williamson and Sean Isaac. Yeah, I thought this was very true to Oliver Queen. He goes through, they give you a little refresher. So in case this is your first ever Green Arrow book, first of all, what's the matter with you? There are several good runs before this. But other than that, if you are new, they do give you this like 2 or 3 page explanation, kind of just like gives you a brief overview of his history. Then they go into the supporting cast. He explains who Roy, who Connor, who Dinah are. And yeah, really, really cool. I like the interaction when they show Leanne and how Roy knows it's Leanne and the whole interaction they have between the two of them. I really, really dug that. I thought that was really great. Almost brought a tear to my eye. But yeah, but then like as soon as they meet, they get torn apart, which kind of leads, I think, into the overall story, where Leanne ends up, where we see Oliver Queen. I dig it so far. I think Joshua Williamson is on to something here. I know he's really enthused about it. I know that the order of issues got doubled from 6 to 12, and I hope the enthusiasm keeps up long enough that they actually end up turning it into an ongoing. Because from what I've seen, that's happened with Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy wasn't supposed to be an ongoing, but it got turned into that. So I hope that happens with Green Arrow.
First of all, that was supposed to be between us.
Sorry about that.
I thought we had a thing. That's
Oh, we do.
now, yeah. I will say I liked Green Arrow. Overall, I did like it.
Yeah.
I will be back for issue 2. I also, though, am so tired of comic books that think they're movies. And I know I'm spitting in the wind at this point, but I remember when splash pages were dynamic and not just the name of the book looking like a credits page.
That's true.
Now, you know, again, and I was talking, to my buddy about this. A couple of things I said. The no, don't you mean no person? That could have been him being glib.
Could have been.
Could have also been him being, too 2023 for my taste.
Could have been.
You can decide what you can decide for yourself what that was. If you don't want it to be, it was him being glib.
Mm-hmm.
When he was introducing the cast, when he got to Dinah, and it was like slurp, 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 slurp. She is the very best of us. That's either really, really 2023 or a man very much in love with.
That's how I took it.
Again, you can take it either way that best suits how you want to perceive the book.
Which I think is good. I think it's good if you can have writing like that appeals to everybody. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, for 2023, this was very much above average.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say it's borderline, top tier for a big 2.
Mm-hmm.
I've also noticed that, in just the last couple of weeks, like I said, I liked it. I picked up my first World's Finest in about 7 months.
Nice.
Loved it. When Bruce says he would trust a ham sandwich, talking about and the Superman, I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, I've noticed I'm starting to try some DC books. I hate that because what Megan Fitzmartin did. I said, I don't like giving money to a company that lets somebody basically shit on readers like me.
Mm-hmm.
But I've noticed that I'm not finding anything at Marvel that even remotely captures my interest as far as like current continuity. I mean, there's the Avengers,
Yeah.
War Across Time, and Joe Fixit. But DC, I will give them credit. I also, since I was in one of those moods, I was going to pick up some more stuff. I wanted to pick up. I wanted to get the Jeff Johns JSAs. I was going to go back and get those.
Oh yeah.
Not a single one in our store.
Really?
Gone. Yeah.
Nice.
Now, I don't know how many we're
unfortunate,
getting.
but yeah.
But so I said, for what it's worth, DC is actually kind of getting me a little curious on a couple things. Because other than that, it's just mostly the handful of indie books that I'm supporting.
Mm-hmm.
So if DC can, get over this all Batman all the time fixation they have,
Yeah.
and it looks like they are. I think the Flash is a huge misstep.
Yeah.
That's gonna. And I don't like that Green Lantern is going to be interrupted a couple issues in by their event du jour.
There's a ton. I saw a thing. Did you see like Night Terrors has like a whole bunch of now great. Thankfully, it's only like one issue per title, but still, it's like good lord, y'all. There's like 20 different things y'all have
You know what
going on
Night
here.
Terror sounds like? Bruce Wayne
I
waking
have
up
it.
and
Hang on.
Jackson, that's making me laugh more than it should.
I want to say this. Night Terror sounds like Bruce waking up and Tim's at the end of his bed, staring at him.
Oh dang!
He went there, ladies and gentlemen.
And he looks like it. I love watching the game with you. If you watch sports, you would get how creepy that reference is.
Look at all of these. There's Night Terrors, the big thing in the middle, but then all the ones surrounding it are the different tie-ins. Like that's a lot of tie-ins, y'all.
Nope.
Like
I can.
Nope.
No. There's more. There's more tie-ins in Civil War.
oh no, there are tons of tie-ins to Civil War, but it's like Harley Quinn has one. Punchline doesn't even have a book right now. Ravager doesn't have a book right now. Zatanna doesn't have a book right now. Angel Breaker, I don't even know who that
What
is.
the hell?
Angel Breaker was in the. Yeah. You read the Shadow War? She was
Parts
on.
of
She
it,
was.
not the whole thing.
She was part of the League of Shadows. Basically,
Oh,
team.
okay.
She was basically brought in to kill Deathstroke along with the other ones. Yeah.
Now,
Gotcha.
Venkman, let me ask you a question though. Do you trust DC's slate of writers in 2023 to pull off all those crossovers as adroitly as Marvel's did in Civil War era?
If
the first
Tini Howard's
Civil War era?
involved in it, obviously it's gonna suck. Tom King being part of it's gonna suck. But I think Tom King will do the same as he does when he's not writing the Night Terrors. He's gonna suck. It's just, man. At this point, DC, I stick to the books that I like.
Your answer.
like I said,
That's your
the
answer. Yeah.
Because that's a safe take for me. Just with Marvel, I don't venture out.
Well, the difference is, Tom King can write when he chooses to. Like I said, I haven't read this month's Danger Street, but
When he's not virtue signaling, he can write.
right. Oh, you're absolutely correct. Some of these writers, Teeny, pick a Stephanie. No offense to you guys, Leah, Stevie. I don't trust. Yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of very skippable tie-ins. Civil
love
War,
skip.
I kind of feel like you didn't want to miss any of them.
Yeah, back in the day, you wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
When Civil War
Right.
came out, I was like that was my first big event I ever did anything with comic book reader. I was just like, sure, I'm gonna get this, and I was like, and then I started noticing like I'm not even reading half these titles that they're putting the tie-ins into, and they're just subpar. But I'll say that Frontlines is better than anything T.D. Howard does. I don't know who was writing Frontlines back then for Civil War, but it was like,
I'm sure it was an actual writer though, because that's it. Marvel employed writer, DC and Marvel both had a great group of writers.
we talked about this. Chuck Dixon, he said, and the thing, he had said, it's not the woke. It's just that they're hiring shit writers.
Well, but one kind of gets you the other.
Yes.
Because shit writers tend to be woke, and
They
woke
need-
writers tend to be shit.
they, like I said, if they ever decide to whenever they end the MCU and done with the movies, I can see Marvel just kind of being like reshuffled again. You know,
Kind of see. I saw a tweet with from Jimmy Palmiotti today that I actually
the big two.
agreed with.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
When he said he was 3 issues into a book he was writing, he got kicked off so they could bring in 2 popular TV writers.
Yeah, the last time there was a writer's strike.
Yeah.
He says he sees that happening again.
Well, actually, the thing, this time might be a good. Well, no, it won't, because the people that would need to be replaced would be the ones that won't be.
Right. TV writers, I think, are more woke than comic writers.
Oh, yeah, Christopher Cantwell.
Yeah. No, he said something else though. He mentioned something earlier today, talking about what was it about variant covers? I think.
Well, yeah, the big two cover. Yeah, they focus more on variant covers than they do an actual the story.
Yeah, well, that was the point that I made. I don't think he made that point, but yeah, he had talked about how like how off-putting it is that the big two put so many variants out there.
Well, so, I mean, I understand there's 2 reasons why they do that.
Right.
Because there's no percentage in pirating a variant cover. You can't, send that off to be graded, and it's not going to be worth any money.
Mm-hmm.
But here's a crazy idea. Maybe put something between the pages worth opening the variant cover for. And both companies kind of lose track of that sometimes. And I think that's, whether he came up with that or not, I'm sure he would agree with that, because I think he's wrong on just about everything he says, politically or even in life in general.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not wrong on comics.
Yeah.
I mean, now, on that part of it. Now, when he says, because remember, a couple of years ago, he said that the way the comic books would sell better is if you started getting the people that were in the comic book movies to like hold up a copy of the book and endorse it.
Right.
Because he must be one of those few people that believe that celebrity endorsements actually still matter.
So Jimmy's actually tweet says, when the big two are developing on multiple covers for every single release and also kickstarting books, what is the message? Yeah. Zach, you had said there 2 ways to go. Option A, craft a quality title with good storytelling appeals to a wide audience. Or option B, subpar storytelling aimed at the small audience, but let's do 12 different covers that cost more, and they'll make up the difference. And that's true. I know I can write a subpar story, but people will buy the variant covers because they look cool. I've found guilty of that sometimes.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
And they sell more of that, and they or I mean, they not sell more. They probably break even.
Well, they're selling more by 2023 standards, but they're still trying to recoup lost because they're not selling anywhere near what they were.
This is what I tell people, man. I'm not saying that I'm important what my views are. I'm just saying if you're looking at a new book that's coming out this week and you're not sure what's to get, see what your friends reading, who read comic books, if they're reading what they're reading every week, and take look at the writer, do some research, see what that writer's written in the past, and like I said, go from there. Or you can do what I do sometimes. I take a chance on a new writer. I will freaking go on a pirate site and I'll read the issue that came out before, and I'll decide if I want to go pick it up, because it's got to the point where even Chip Zdarsky, man, as much as I liked him in the past and some things, I'm paying $5 for a freaking comic book. It better be a story that I really want to read.
Mr. Producer, why am I the only face up here? And I'm like all big and like.
Well, if we're gonna have one of the 4 up there, your ratings, kid.
We are holding at 13.
I'm done. I have nothing else to show y'all. No, that's it. I'm done. There you go. That's the money maker. That's what people recognize.
Show us your 1.5 books.
Well, Cap's got to tell us what he got this week first.
That's true.
Fine. America first.
Yeah.
America first.
I'm actually pretty behind. This week has been rough. I've still got a couple issues I haven't read yet, so I've got to either read those tonight or early in the morning to put together my video for the reviews. But I read Green Arrow #1, so we talked about it. I thought it was pretty good. I agree with Breen's take on that. I didn't know exactly how to take some of the lefty kind of stuff there, but then again, it's Oliver Queen. He's always been that way, so to a degree.
Yeah.
So I understand that. I read Lazarus Planet: Revenge of Gods #404. I won't give my score away, but I will say I liked the ending of it. I wasn't digging it a little bit, and I definitely didn't like how she kept making Billy Shazam there a bit of a joke, if you will. And I thought they were gonna maybe take his power away at the end, but they did a nice spin at the end of it, so I thought it was okay.
You should look forward to next week. That's the new Shazam ongoing series.
Yeah, I plan.
Yeah,
on
the
it.
Mark Waid one, Dan Moore. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely plan on checking that out. I read Tim Drake Robin #8. That's all I'll say about that right now.
Paid for that?
Well, it's only got a couple more issues left, so we'll see how much they could ruin that character in the few more issues. Though I will say it actually was a better issue than probably the rest of the series has been. Avengers Beyond #2. I read that. Did any of you read that?
I dropped the Avengers Beyond series. That was the one from Greg Land and Derek Landy, right?
Yeah.
I really wanted to read it because I know it had Wasp on the cover. I like the Wasp. So.
I do too.
If I had money to throw away at books that I don't want to read, I would have got it, and then I would have dropped it.
Okay.
I cut several books from my book. Like I didn't pick up Doctor Strange, I didn't pick up Hulk, and I didn't pick up Avengers Beyond.
It was 1, 2. I was at that breaking point. I couldn't spend another $4.
Yeah. And that's fair enough. I'm not a big fan of Land because, well, obviously he's tracing faces, and you could tell the faces that he was not tracing because they were misshaped and stuff on this issue. So
he draws the guys. You can really tell how he draws. It's like, what the heck, man? That's your real talent.
Yeah, I didn't get to read Wasp #4 yet, and I haven't read Daredevil #10 yet either.
I did dip online and read #4 just to check, or whatever the newer latest Daredevil is, and I gotta say, it just felt like heroes versus heroes, and Woe Is Me, Daredevil, and that's kind of why I dropped the book. I just checked in to see if anything really changed, but I don't know. It's just like this felt like I'm just tired of the Woe Is Me heroes.
Yeah, I get that. I haven't read that one yet. I'll get to it probably in the morning, so we'll see.
I'll say this: it's better than Spider-Man.
That sets the bar real high. Matter of fact,
There's a lot of stuff better than Spider-Man.
I think I'm going to do a video. Which Spider-Man is worse? The current Spider-Man or Amazing Spider-Man series? Because they both suck.
They're
both garbage. Yeah.
Well, Dan Slott knows what the fans want. That's what he tells us to F off.
I read Captain America: Symbol of Truth #12. And that was all right. Deadpool #6. I did read Hulk #14, and I think I like how they ended it because it looks to me like they're transitioning it back into a more standard Hulk story. Because we just had the big horror type of version for a long time of the Hulk, and then we shifted into the rocket version of the Hulk where he's a spaceship, and now we're getting back to the core Hulk. I think again, that'll make me happy.
The ending of it, though.
Pardon?
Of that series, I did like it. Ryan Otley did the best he could with Bruce Banner explaining why he did it.
I didn't mind the art style, but I didn't care for the story. I didn't like the direction right from the beginning.
Oh, okay. As I say, yeah. So would you say Ryan Otley kept the same kind of tone as Cantwell? I'm not saying Cantwell. Sorry, Cates. It kind of felt like Cantwell in that book. Yeah, would you say that, or do you think that Ryan Otley, when he did try to do it the best he could, made it a little better? Because that's what I feel like.
Sometimes I've been told if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. It might be one of those times.
You weren't told that here.
You're told that if you don't want to talk about Avengers 4, you're not supposed to show up.
But I will say my surprise issue, I dug the Invincible Iron Man #5.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I enjoyed that. So
What was your key favorite moment from that book?
I think I like what the enemy is doing with. I don't want to give it away the story and ruin
The
it for
very
anybody,
ending?
but what they're doing with the Iron Man technology
Okay.
and how it mixes with the X-Men.
So
Is this the one that had like? Was this the callback issue to the West Coast Avengers?
No, that'll
Or
be
that-
next issue.
That's next issue. Okay.
So this issue, I talked to Morano over it, and Morano was very, very not pleased with this. But cheaper to me though, a 3.5. I felt like it took a step in the back direction, the way how this villain handled Tony out of the suit.
Well, one thing I thought was, why the heck did he get out of the suit in the first place?
Exactly.
I mean, what were you thinking?
And as I said, I in my review before you saw it, I kind of mentioned, like, it's kind of like Iron Man 2 with the Howard Stark, stuff.
Yeah, but you know
But
what I figure is
the
that's
plot-
probably the best done with it after
So
the damage has already been done. I
so-
mean, the damage has been done. We have to deal with that. and
Well,
moving
there's more
forward, it's
damage.
done.
I guarantee at the end of this series, Howard
Mhm.
Stark's going to return to being alive. You're going to find out he's alive.
Well, that's a pretty big guess there. I'm not going to agree. I don't think that's going to happen. We'll see.
It's Marvel, man. They're going to bring back somebody
Yeah,
who listens
but
here.
And I get that, but I'm not predicting that. That's if you're right, more power to you, man.
Because remember they did the whole adopted thing with his mom, and like,
Yeah.
his mom's, yeah. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's terribly stupid. So,
It's bad creative, giving out bad ideas. But like I said, you got the better take of this. I do love the art in the book, though. That's the best thing that consistent about this book is the interior art.
well, I don't really want to give it away, but I really dug the Iron Man armor being used to create a particular thing that'll go
Yeah.
against mutants.
Sure.
I like that idea. Oh, you're through this technology into that. Why didn't anybody ever do that before? That was a pretty good tip there. I read Monica Rambeau Photon issue #5, which it was cliche, and I mean the art was decent, but I'll try to be positive. It was nice to see them give Monica some respect, but we had a 5-issue series all about her realizing, hey, I'm powerful and I'm a superhero. I mean, come on.
I said this is a 5-issue series that should have been a one-shot.
Yeah, pretty much so.
They wanted
Yeah.
money. That's all. It
I
was.
would if Marvel did more one shots instead of these 4 or 5 issue miniseries throwback series, I would be buying more of the one shots.
Marania with the decimal is saying the art is what kept it at 3.5 for me. A lot of the story beats were 2.5 at best.
That's a
the
big
art-
dip, considering like what was it, 1 or 2 issues ago? She was like 4.5, or it was amazing.
It's the way the villains kind of. I'm just
Yeah.
And
You
then
didn't like
I
how they
said, hey,
manhandled Tony.
I love seeing Emma Frost in the book,
Mhm.
but I mean, like, this feels like not even a Tony Stark villain. This should be like, Krakoa, clean up your mess.
Emma and Tony did have some kind of history. It was hinted at, I think, around Civil War when Tony tried to recruit the X-Men and the mutants over to his side.
This is
There
a Gary
was
Duggan
some
villain
history.
that he created.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's basically Duggan's using his toys.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And I finished off the Mary Jane and Black Cat issue #5 of 5.
Still
which-
going with that.
Nice.
Well, I like the Black Cat as a character.
I like Larry J. and Black Hat. I love Jen McKay.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't tied into the whole current events,
Oh yeah.
I can keep things separate, like oil and water.
I wish Jen McKay could, but they won't allow.
Well, I didn't like that whole dark web storyline at all. to begin with, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, Dark Web was weird. And
Yeah,
not
and so
very
this
good.
spawned off of that. But I mean, I like seeing these two together, not
Yeah.
as a couple, but as just two characters working together. I don't like Mary Jane with powers. Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of things there, but I tend to like seeing those two work together for some reason.
I want Black Cat to basically
get that.
just call her out on her BS with the kids.
I'd rather see Black Cat with Mary Jane than Mary Jane with Sean King, now Matt Walsh.
Valid point.
If Matt
you know
Walsh
that's
and Sean King had a baby,
but
that's
here's the
who it
thing,
would look like.
this is where there's a slight hope for Peter Parker and Mary Jane fans. The fact that he went from Sean King to Matt Walsh means they're going to turn him bad.
maybe.
Yeah, it's wonder how they're gonna get themselves out of this position. Now
I don't know
she
if
did
there's a way
say
you
her
can.
kids, but we don't know if they're actually her.
Yeah, it
real-
could just be a case
legitimate
where
children.
like
You
where
know,
like a stepmother comes in and she's got like that real strong mama bear gene or
Yeah.
whatever, so they like become her
Yeah.
kids.
Well, have you
Yeah.
read Mary
Best-
Jane Watson?
I would just solve it.
I
Like I said,
don't think so.
do the Bob Hope ending. Bob Newhart ending.
Yeah,
Where Mary Jane wakes up and she's like, "Oh God, what the hell happened?" Like,
and Tim Drake's gonna be at the end of her bed.
just watching.
Yeah, he'll be at the end of her bed, like Marv Throneberry in the old Miller Lite commercials. I still don't know why I'm here.
He's sipping a Bud Light.
That's right, with Dylan.
I'm surprised I'll be surprised if they don't shoehorn that into the last issue of Tim Drake Rob, and he'll be drinking a Bud Light.
Well,
He's got a case.
Tim and Bernard will be hanging out with Dylan.
Yeah. But that's so yeah, I'm not quite done with all mine, so I don't know what my top ones are. I will say Green Arrow so far is taking the top spot currently.
See, I would have thought they would have paired Tim and John together. Batman, Superman.
Why do you say things? Someone's gonna hear you and they're gonna do it now. You spoke it into existence.
Yeah.
It might be improvement for both of them.
No. Improvement would be put Tim back together with Stephanie.
Yep.
And John go fly off into a sun and I don't know.
An improvement would be
No.
Jeff Johns was creative of everything, and he's able to just erase everything and do another crisis wave.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want another Flashpoint.
If it resets the characters being back to being the way they were during his Jeff Johns JSA run,
Well, that's pre-Flashpoint. They're not going to go back to pre-Flashpoint.
That would be awesome.
The biggest
That would be,
problem
but they're not going to.
with comics today is DC knows that if they had John Kent be 10 years old and precocious again tomorrow, that would make the vast majority of DC fans happy, and it would sell more books. If Tim Drake woke up tomorrow and said, "Oh, my bad, I'm straight," and got back with Stephanie, that would make the lion's share of DC fans happy and would sell more books. Neither will ever happen because
Wait,
there's too many people in positions of authority at DC that agree with Megan Fitzmartin and are also terrified of Twitter, which tells you that like the Jeff Johns side will never truly be in charge again.
Well, I gotta say this. It's funny because they try. Remember how they tried to cancel Jeff Johns with the whole Justice League movie stuff?
Yeah, but that's more connected to Ray Fisher and.
I know,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Right.
wouldn't it be the best thing for them to do? Would be to cancel him, and because I'm surprised that they brought him back and let him do anything.
Well, here's the thing.
They must be trying to make some money if they bring Jeff Johns.
Well, yeah, but
because David Zaslav doesn't care about Twitter. Remember, Twitter was all up in fire when that Batgirl movie got canceled. Even though there were people saying, "Yeah, this really shouldn't make it to the screen. It's not good."
But you also got to remember there are people in editorial at DC that are still there that are woke as hell and think what Megan Fitzmartin did with Tim is the best thing that's ever been done with the character. It sucks, but that's and those are the people that have the ultimate final say. But anyway, so I guess if everybody else is gone, I will show the few things that I got.
Let me full screen.
This is what we've been waiting for.
That's
Jackson
right. Here we go.
Jackson has
This
seen
is the
these
show.
already.
Yeah! It's the Muppet Show with very special guest star, Esther Eric Brain. Yeah!
Never do that again. Well, yeah, Venk, he really don't want to be cool.
He wants to be in the Muppet Show, apparently.
Yes.
Never been cool ever. I'm not gonna start.
Yes, you're talking about this.
Yes, Eerie
Nice.
hardcover, volume 1.
Okay.
He's a very good book.
Eerie hardcover, volume 2.
Which just came out too, remember, right? Volume 2.
Well, the soft covers have just come out, or were supposed to. Volume Trey.
Nice.
It's a merman.
Number 4.
All these will be available on I Love Comics this week on the option.
Right.
You see him, he's like,
Number 5.
Ooh. Is that's giving some.
That will
strong
not be allowed.
Frazetta
No,
vibes.
no more cheesecake on the options.
That's
Yeah, that gives me some strong Frank Frazetta.
that's because it is Frank Frazetta.
Oh, nice. Is that too?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Let me be frank.
These books were done in the mid to late 60s.
Okay.
Here's volume 7.
During the
Scott
Women's
Bankman's
Revolution.
attention.
Wow.
During the Women's Revolution.
Bless. Ooh.
Number 8.
Next, he's going to show me all the Vampirellas.
No, I only have 5 of those.
He's 5 more than me.
Number 9.
Oh, you don't have number 8.
Golly.
Yeah, this is one of the show.
Hmm.
Try to keep up, son. I know math is hard. And number 10.
I thought they said 7. You went to number 9. That's why I was confused.
No, I didn't. I just held up number 8. Didn't say what it was.
Oh,
So I got an obscenely good deal on these.
and your back hurts.
And the guy that sold these in is selling in the creepies also. So I will be getting the first 10 volumes of that as well.
Breen's like, they're mine. Don't even think about touching them. It's like,
Rod, were you gone by the time that was first round? You saw those yesterday. So that was what I and so the rest of it's kind of anticlimactic other than that, but I couldn't pass these up, and I said I've always wanted to read these, and hell, the individual issues have been expensive for as long as I can remember.
we've been thinking about rebranding the readings. Well, Palpatine is gone for the month, and we're gonna have Breen just read us his eerie stories.
Oh yeah.
Story time with Breen, baby.
Who's ready for story time with
Eerie stories with Eric Breen.
Yeah, actually, I read the entire first volume the day I got it.
Oh, nice.
And that inspired me to go back, and I have the first 3 Marvel Masterworks Journey into Mysteries when you have the pre-code era horror.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back and started reading some more of those. So I've kind of been binging on classic comic horror this week.
Trusty, that's a personal Patreon request. We can't do that live on air.
That's
Not even the puppets want to show up for that.
yeah, that's creepy.
I don't want to show up for that.
And step away when you're on. One of our cats was puking.
Oh.
Sorry, sir.
Well, I have that effect on cats.
Evil black cat does it all the time.
That's true.
All right. I did see. I think Undead Quench said he had a couple books.
But that but while we're on that subject, though, like I said, I don't remember if it was creepy or eerie that was starting this week or supposed to start this week, or if not this week, next week. I highly recommend those because those are excellent. If you've ever read any old EC reprints, a lot of the people, the people that were, some of the people from EC worked on those books. Archie Goodwin was, a main writer. Like the first volume, Steve Ditko has a story in every issue. Eugene Colan. I'll give you an idea how old those
Eugene?
are. Eugene Colan.
I know.
There's Neil Adams got his start working for early Neil Adams at Warren. So and they're like I said, I think they're coming out $20 hard or soft cover. I got these because I got these a lot less than that because they were used, and I worked there, so I mean I couldn't pass those up. But those and those EC reprints that are I showed this one like last week. I think
they had
Dark Horse is doing them like those. These are just like I said, if you're into comics history at all, these are indispensable.
I was gonna ask you because my shop has a hardcover version of those.
Oh yeah, well, if you've got the money, hell, hardcover, and you're not pushing, you're not already 60 like me, and you realize
I see them on the shelves. I was like, oh, here they have that, and then I saw they had the Marvel Contest of Champions.
Okay,
it was there too. They had a hardcover version of that.
Didn't know there was, but that had to be awfully padded out. That was only 3 issues.
Yes, it's an oversized one too. It's like Rose Waldo book. Looked kind of cool. Oh man. Undead Quinn, I think he only had 2 books this week. Or 3, sorry.
Also, Weiss here. Anybody that hasn't checked out Dr. Silver Age's Saturday morning show, check it out. It's comic book memories. It's basically like a more conversational Fossils because there's just 2 of them. Shannon, I can't pronounce his username. It's something music solid force to bend or something. Great show.
Shannon Moore and Matt Hardy.
Guys, but yeah, I said it's it's on against comics aficionados, but which is unfortunate. But I mean, I said
Isn't Brown too also stream in the morning Saturdays, or is he only afternoon?
No, he does when he's rolling. He does those every day. But like I said, this is live at 10 every week, and nice. I said it is a whole lot of fun. They're nice enough to let me join him a couple weeks ago, and that was as fun a 2 hours as I've ever had on YouTube.
I always get Strange Life and Silver Age mixed up.
Well, strangely enough, so do they.
Because one of them sounds like he's from Boston.
No, that's
Rod is from Maine, so New England, close enough.
Yeah.
Strange Life is from Chicago.
Okay.
But yeah, I said it's
not a dig. I said it's like I
said. No. I said
I was thinking, I'm like, that's how I pick him apart from all the rest of you guys. He's got that cool accent going there.
I just looked up his channel, so I subbed to it so I can check it out.
I said he's also on Twitter, and he posts really cool comics stuff that I wish I still had. But
I'm just gonna say this now. If any fossils that want to donate the Vampirilla cutouts stands, I'll gladly take one.
To everybody that suffered through the video I did with Wes this week, thank you. That's actually past 10,000.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
I might do a video of the Wes.
I keep telling Pixel he's going to be in the neighborhood. Just stop by his house. Just have Puppetine in the window during the Saturday morning. And then probably get shot because I'd freak the heck out of Wes. But
I mean, seriously.
No, we didn't invite him. He doesn't need to show up.
He just pops up.
Mother bless it. Go away, Frank.
I got him because he looks like Eric Breen with a mustache.
No,
that head full of hair.
He really doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
He's better looking than me.
If you were a mall cop, this would be you.
It looks like Paul Blart if he was a puppet.
Paul Blart is a puppet and everything he is. Doug is Carrie's puppet. To a point. Undead Quinn looks like he got 3 books. He got picked up Gargoyles. He's still going strong with that.
Oh, nice.
Says Goliath is a prisoner to the they try to break him out, and then Glass says he's staying in prison. He's become Daredevil.
He's become Daredevil. I saw that.
Trojan. That's another book. It's an AWA book. Issue 4. This is the last one. He said it's based what I'm saying. He says basically it's a somewhat rushed ending that reveals hidden plot lines. The main character Nessa gets revenge on the person who's basically been like creating snuff films of legendary creatures, killing them, for money. And she ends up basically killing everybody who's investing and stuff. Happy ending for the other main guy, but like I said, he was kind of a rush ending. I read through it and I was just like, what is this? It's like, because the art looked good. You had a cheesecake cover, and I was like, I checked it out. It's actually an interesting series, but I agree with him. Rushed ending. That's the one thing I hate about 4-issue freaking book or 5 issues. It just feels like they don't know how to end it, and if it's like, or it's stretched out, it should be a one shot. Kind of like with Photon.
Well, that's so prevalent in comics now. You'd think by now you would have that formula down, because if you know you have a finite number, if you're writing a limited series, you've got to know what's going to be in each issue and how to pace it to do it correctly. I mean, it's one thing if the company pulls the rug out from under you and says you've got an issue, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Or like in the early days of Marvel, the way they did it, the Marvel method. If you read some of those books from the 60s, it goes into the last page and the plot hasn't even been close to being resolved. 5 panels later, everything's wrapped up. And you want to talk about rushed endings. A lot of villains got killed. Went from on top of the world Ma to croaked off in like a 2-panel progression. But that was the 60s, so we should have learned something by then.
World Tree number 1 is Undead Quinn's number 1 for this week. Interesting horror comic. We're kind of reminding us of The Cell with a mix of murder, killing it on it. So I gotta say though, a lot of people have been asking about World Tree in my shop. Never picked it up, so man, it sounds like it's a good indie book. I'm not sure who's writing it or as far as what. And then Delia says, if Wesley Snipes were to write a DC Comics title, what would you put him on? Considering the book he's writing now, indie book with another person, it feels like Blade. It's like I'm like, maybe Black Lightning. I don't know. He has to have like something like it has to be similar to an action.
Why does it have to be a black character? Why are you saying that?
Yeah, I was
black
thinking
people
Superman.
Can write black characters.
Well, Superman's black. He can be Superman.
Valzada is not.
Yeah, he can be Batman too. Batman's black. He could be Green Lantern. He's black. Aquaman. He's black.
Green Lantern is quarter black. Aquaman is 2/3 black.
Flash is black. Do you notice that every main character has a black sidekick, or they're
actually? You know what? I saw a tweet the other day. Somebody asked if Diana wasn't Wonder Woman, which of the 3 Wonder Girls should? Was it that? Yeah, I think it was like it's like who should take her place? No, that wasn't the right one though. There was another one. It's like, oh no, it was the 3 Wonder Girls. Which one should be dropped?
Telling a hell of a story here, Zach.
I know. I'm telling an England teen style story. No, there was a tweet. It showed the 3 Wonder Girls, Donna, Cassie, and Yara Flor. And the tweet was, one's got to go. And there were a few people that said Donna, like one person said
he
Cassie.
said keep the white chicks.
Overwhelmingly, everybody was like, Yara Flor needs to go. So
Yara Flor in an alternate universe or futures end, whatever, where everyone's dead. Whatever. Maybe. Sure.
Apparently, a lot of people were ticked off about how she represented Brazil.
Well,
I don't know why.
Because
probably because she's straight. Probably.
Comic book fandom is so farged up now.
It's not comic book fandom. It's current day culture.
Well, yeah, okay, but if you're
disguise.
Based on the way the characters are being written today, the one that's got to go is Cassie, because she dresses like she just robbed a thrift store. She lectures everybody and is basically useless. Thank you again,
Cassie?
Megan Fitzmartin.
Tom Taylor pretty much did a good
Tom
job with
Taylor
her.
used her. Tom Taylor did use her pretty well in Deceased.
She was
but
more
that's-
than Damian Drake's
But-
booty call.
Again, that's out of continuity.
That's out of
I know,
continuity.
I know.
was about to say
Now-
the last time. Besides that, the last time I read Cassie in anything was Teen Titans.
Well, she
The last time I read her was Megan Fitzmartin.
right around the time of Infinite Crisis,
Mm-hmm.
when she spent the night at the Kent farm banging
Yeah.
Connor.
Yeah.
That was the character. That was the character, the version of her I like.
Yeah,
Since
right.
then, she's been aged down,
Mm-hmm.
and probably lesbian. But
That's
like
what
I
I've
said,
seen. But I mean, it probably wouldn't.
well,
take very long
it's
to get
DC.
there.
You could just.
Do you know what my
assume.
favorite version of
Yeah,
Supergirl
sure.
is?
But-
Is pre-52
Your favorite version of what?
Supergirl. When she didn't exist.
Yeah, Supergirl hasn't been
fan.
worth a damn since they canceled Peter David's series.
I would say
Give
that's
Jeff
probably
Loeb.
the best run.
It was the Michael Turner. Was it? What was it? Was
That
it
was
World's Finest?
Terrible.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah,
It was because it was a tarted up version of what Jeff Loeb had brought back.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, that wasn't a bad one, but it's just like each iteration kept getting worse, because the New 52 when she was a ball buster, now she's just bitter and angry and mad at Clark, and it's just like I said, each time she keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Now she straight up looks like a boy.
Hmm.
Someone pointed out there's a picture of her. She doesn't even have breasts anymore. She's just got the what is called like the grilled cheese across pecs.
Speaking of Supergirl, some drama going on Twitter, which is I kind of laughed at because somebody just took the still photo of the girl that's supposed to be in the Flash movie and just brightened the photo and changed the costume a little bit, and he's being accused of being whitewashing her. And of course, some people were like, "Oh, it's definitely whitewashing." And there are people like, "Dude, he didn't whitewash her. She looks the same. She's just not in the dark anymore." If you look at a picture of the actual actress in the lights,
Can you pull up the picture?
Zach probably could. It was fully on Twitter.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have not seen this.
I can send it to you on Twitter if I can find it. I can't share on here because with the internet limit. Yeah, and then someone else is like, "Why does RC from Transformers have lips?" I'm like, "You've never watched Transformer movies?"
They're doing a new animated movie, by the way.
Yeah.
A new animated Transformers movie.
Yeah. And someone was complaining that she had lips. I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
No, this is
Okay.
different. This is not the Beast Wars one.
No, I'm not talking about that. No, this someone's complaining that RC, who's supposed to be like the pink Transformer, whatever it was, Optimus Prime's love interest, had he had lips, and if you go back, you're like, "Oh, someone's like she's got DSL lips," it's just like, dude, like go watch original Transformers cartoon movie, same thing. Watch, it's just it was dumb.
MK, I've never read Injustice, so I have no idea what that is. So I know what it is. but
Injustice Superman was the Superman that turned into a dictator after Joker killed Lois. And Superman killed Joker, and then was like, "We need to just kill all the bad guys." And
And
Get
any
this
hero that
worldwide.
disagrees with them.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hmm.
What did he like? Laser-eyed Shazam.
Yeah. That was pretty
Yeah,
brutal.
Injustice is brutal. I give it credit. It's a better Civil War story than Civil War, because Civil War killed one dude. Injustice, dozens dead
Yep.
on both sides.
Now,
So-
while you're looking for that, Vank, I will say that I think if they had to do over again, they would not have done that with the Supergirl character, because that was at the height of the take that you incel time. Because I mean, they definitely took a beautiful girl, turned her into a boy, and when I said it, the guy I work with, who, like I said, fancies himself a progressive now, said I saw that, and when she came on screen, I said, "Is that Superboy?"
There it goes, Zach. It's in Sports Bunk Comics. If you want to share your screen.
And so it's I think a lot of that has. I think we've kind of moved past a lot of that now.
I just, like I said,
If they had to do it over again, they probably would have at least had her. Because here's the thing: the movies have to appeal to normies. A normie's version of Supergirl is Helen Slater.
actually, Normie's version of Supergirl, CW is Supergirl.
Or, well, even more so than that, though.
But I would say,
but millions of people watch that, but tens of millions of people, as much of a flop as it was, remember her from that. And at least for the first 3 or 4 seasons, Supergirl wore a skirt on her show.
my introduction to Supergirl was the 90s animated series, where it was a version where she grew up on the Kent's farm.
Okay, so this is the photoshopped whatever version. It always looks weird to me, blonde hair on.
They basically gave her blonde hair and
Yeah,
like
that's
changed
basically all they
suit.
did.
Yeah, that's all they
did
did.
they change
They
the suit?
brightened the photo a little bit.
I thought the suit. No, the suit's the same.
So basically, they just and they're
All
saying
they
this is
did was
brightened.
they gave her a blonde wig and they brightened her up.
They're
a
saying,
bit.
"Oh, you whitewashed her." And if you look at pictures of this actual actress, I think it's down in the tweet later on or down in the comments. Somebody said like it's literally look at photos of her and she looks exactly the same.
The
Like,
suit
yeah,
is a little
this
bit
is-
different. They removed a
Oh,
lot
they
of the red
did.
on the
They
shoulders.
did. Yeah, I see that now in this one.
But
So
they're
it's
complaining
like-
about the skin
yeah.
color though. That's
This
all they're
has
complaining.
like the cape bits on it, and then
Like
this
that
one,
Alex
there's-
guy is saying, like Alex Snow says, he's like, because the whole damn picture is brighter and the lighting can make skin tones seem different. No,
Yeah.
like I said, it was just I saw that I just laughed because this person just got ratioed so much, and like I don't know. At the Flash movie, someone was comparing like to what was No Way Home with as far as with
But
the lines he says. Keaton says, "Oh, I'm Batman," or no, what's his line? You want
you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
let's get nuts.
Yeah.
And they compare that to Green Goblins, Norman's.
No, he said that years before Green Goblin.
Yeah, but you're comparing to that line, and they're saying someone was trying to say that both those lines are cringe. I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
Did anybody not see the Tim Burton Batman?
I'm about to say, I don't even like the Tim Burton Batman, but I love that line.
When he's Bruce Wayne, he said, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts."
Zach, how? Yeah, how
Right
is
here.
it that you remain
Right here.
light years from cool?
Wait, he said he
Right
didn't see
here.
it.
No,
What'd
I
you say?
saw it. It's not my favorite. It's
Well,
not my
you
favorite.
said
it's not
you
your
don't like it.
favorite, but I mean, like, where is it on your Batman level?
all the Bale movies. Then I would say then there's Keaton. No, Adam West. Then Keaton. Then there's like Kilmer and Clooney are at the bottom.
But here's the thing, though. Yeah, Christian Bale. Those. Yes, they're Batman movies. I mean, the thing is, they're so different.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, the Adam West is pure camp.
Right.
Tim Burton's was, for a guy that proudly said he will never read a comic book, he gave us a
good.
very comic book. It was like a perfect blend of the comic book and the 60s series. It was very atmospheric. I thought that as far as, I think it's the most atmospheric Batman of them all.
And I gotta say, he was going up against. This is a guy from Night Shift going up against Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like the star
Oh yeah,
power,
and then there's Pattinson. I forgot about
But-
Pattinson. He's up there too.
but people forget that, not only did Michael Keaton have a far more famous villain co-star, Christopher Reeve had the same thing, plus Marlon Brando.
Dude, ever since Rob and I reviewed Night Shift, whenever I hear Jump on Jack Flash, I go right back to Night Shift.
Hey, we got teenage girls in here.
Jackson Roykirk. There are several. Wow, dude. Jackson Roykirk. There are 2 reasons I don't like Batman Returns. One is what you're thinking of. The other one is Danny DeVito biting that guy's nose off. That still creeps me
To
out.
me, I gotta say, the Night Shift is probably my favorite Keaton movie, though. I haven't seen Johnny Dangerously yet. That's my next.
Oh,
one to
okay.
watch.
For 3 years, we got Night Shift, Mr. Mom and Johnny Dangerously. I think within like 2 years. I thought he was going to be the next.
Huge, yeah. And then he's
And then
kind
a
of
couple years after that, there was Gung Ho.
yeah.
Then he figured out he could also act, because Clean and Sober was a really, really good movie. It's one of those, hit a little too close to home in my case.
The one he did that creeped me out the most, like when you see him, is when he is the landlord of that tenant place.
Was like Pacific Heights or something like that.
I think so. It was, yeah, or something like that.
But,
and he had, I was like, this is like because like I said that he has that creep factor, but he also has that kind of like jokester thing. Like, that's why for me, like the Beetlejuice was kind of the best blend of that.
Okay, MK has asked an interesting question. It kind of goes to what we've been talking about as far as the tone and tenor of the movies.
Live action.
The Joker in the Michael Keaton movie was kind of a cross between the Cesar Romero Joker plus the early Batman stories from the 30s and 40s, because before the code came in, he couldn't kill anymore. Heath Ledger is just I mean, I don't know that homicidal maniac. It's what everyone, I just want to see the world burn kind of thing. It's they're not even the same character.
Yeah, one's part of the chaos, and the other one actually has a plan.
So they're Jack Nicholson's Joker was, to me, far more believable. I mean, Heath Ledger's Joker would be hunted down and killed like a mad dog at all costs.
When you mentioned Nicholson's Joker, the two things that pop in my mind are the balloons or him falling to his death in the gargoyle, falling, and then the teeth come out laughing up.
Yeah,
I always forget about what he did to his former boss. Like, that to me is the most creepiest part of the movie. And then him, and then like you see him in the museum going up to Kim Basinger, and he's painting over the paintings. It's kind of like, that was a little bit of Caesar, but it still had that creepy factor to it. It's like, this guy he's not going to hesitate to kill someone.
Yeah, it was. I said I love the first Michael Keaton Batman movie. I've probably seen it 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. I would describe Heath Ledger's Joker is kind of it's somewhat similar to the Mark Hamill Joker version, where he's creepy, but he needs Batman. Where in that one, in the Michael Keaton one with Jack Nicholson, he could have killed Batman. I don't think he would have cared. I need someone to challenge, because maybe if they would have done a couple more movies with him, then I could see the attachment building. But at first, it didn't really seem like he's like, oh, the Batman. It's a real challenge. No,
because the first, if you've read Batman #1, the Joker has every intention of killing Batman. Batman's got no problem killing the Joker.
Yep.
And at the time, he was, they, just to cover their bases, they had him actually survive stabbing himself. But I'm sure originally he was just going to be a one and done.
Yeah.
It turned out to be arguably the greatest villain in the history of fiction.
Yes.
But that's the Jack Nicholson version. Yeah, that was, I said, they just met and they had no history. So I agree. He could have killed Batman and then gone ordered dinner.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, and Zach, to answer your question, there is no retrospective tomorrow unless you guys come up with something tonight. I did not plan on it with my internet.
Okay.
I'm surprised my internet's lasting this long.
I was about to say, we're 2.5 hours in. It's been lasting this long.
I was gonna say, like, I would invite Silver Age on, but I don't. It might be jump on.
So incidentally, E is doing an unboxing right now.
Yeah, I saw that. That's why you muted and took your camera off.
Did you see what he has?
No, because I'm devoted to my fans here.
Okay, well, I'm so devoted, I'm going to tell my fans what he has.
So they leave? cool.
He's not auctioning it off right now. He's got a Savage She-Hulk #1. I don't know
He's
how
also
he
had
managed
Savage
to swing
She-Hulk,
it,
the Essential Collection that nobody wants, apparently.
but this is the floppy. Like, this is the individual copy, Savage She-Hulk #1. So,
I mean, it's good for him. Like I said, I hope people are able to buy stuff and what the economy it is, you know. For these
That is
for
true.
these Zoomers going on Twitter and saying, "Oh, employment's been the best it's been in 54 years."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?"
what a
I
joke.
always find these videos either through one of my other friends or Frugal replies to people. I'm just thinking, like, Frugal, just move on, just go, just let them be.
I usually let them be. I let a lot be. I just throw in something once in a while. I see something, I was like, boy, that's stupid. I'm just gonna boop, and move it, and then I'm out. And I'm not that mean. I don't
Like I
think.
said,
Just
the
go
whole
in, do what I do. You go in, you take a few jabs, and you back out.
Like I said, the whole thing with the Supergirl thing, I laughed at that. The whole Transformers. Why does she have lips? Should tell me you've never watched a Transformers cartoon or even the animated movie. Well, and that's the other thing. Aaron Sparrow, a friend of our channel, he had he replied to somebody, or actually not mentioned anybody. He was an article says, coming soon, a new Transformers animated movie, first ever animated movie. He's like, did he do any research? There is an animated movie before this. It's not the first animated movie.
No, but it's the first one since, what was it, the movie?
It'd be the second one, not the first. The
First one in that long stretch of time.
Are they going to kill off a bunch of the Transformers right in the first few minutes again?
No, I think it's all supposed to take place on Cybertron. It's supposed to be like it's about young Optimus and Megatron before they became enemies.
You're 10 years old.
I wonder how many kids' jaws just dropped when they seen there, and it just like they killed them.
You killed Kenny.
Ironhide is gone.
That was
Yeah.
me. And look, Transformers 3, I think is the best one of all the Michael Bay movies. But when Ironhide gets it, man, that broke me. I like that.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that yet. I seen the first Michael Bay Transformer movie. I don't think I've seen any other ones yet.
The first one's good. The second one is.
Does Megan Fox fix her car in any of the other ones?
Megan Fox is into. By the time they get to 3, she's not in the movies anymore.
I was
Then,
just- well, you know it's fiction
So-
if Megan Fox is fixing a car.
So
that's your takeaway from that old man.
Yes. That's too far gone fiction there.
now here's my thing: is like, is Frank Cullen, or Peter? Sorry, not Frank, Peter Cullen.
Peter
and
Cullen.
Frank, whatever his name is. I can't remember his.
It's young Optimus and young Megatron. So
No.
no, it's Chris Hemsworth, and who was Megatron? Some
Tom
other.
Hiddleston.
No, not Hiddleston. That'd be hilarious. No, Chris Hemsworth is voicing young Optimus Prime though. Was 3 the one with the term? Yes, MK. 3 was the one.
I mean,
No, that was 2.
are we gonna get a Stan Bush soundtrack?
Who?
Oh my gosh! You don't got the touch.
I
Or
guess
the power.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be cool. He doesn't watch the cool stuff. Brain, you watched the animated movie, right? At least
Of what?
Transformers.
No.
Oh, Brain, you fell from coolness.
I'm 60. I
When it
was
came
probably
out,
already
you were-
old.
when it
I was
came-
probably already old then.
It came out in like mid '80s.
I wasn't even born. If it was in the mid '80s,
So your mom
Okay.
was be cool.
Okay, in the mid 80s, I was in my mid 20s,
Mhm.
which meant I was probably, not probably, I was out drinking and carousing and doing the
Oh.
things that people in their 20s
I
do.
thought maybe it was before that.
No, no, I all kidding aside, I've
All
never
right,
been
so basically,
never been a
you-
big cartoon
The
guy.
animated movie, it's a big thing because the theme track, had Stan Bush. He sing that song. You got the touch, you got the power. and he pretty much wrote like the best rock ballad for that whole entire movie.
I don't know. Dare to Be Stupid was up there too.
Yeah, I know that was in the movie too.
It was a really good fit for that section. That was
Yeah.
a good song for that.
That was during the junk.
Yeah.
Thing, right? Yeah.
With Retgar and all those other ones.
But like, if you look up Stan Bush and look at his stuff, it was just like the best, most 80s upbeat like song for an animated movie or a cartoon. It's awesome. I guarantee you like it. It'll look good on you.
You're gonna like the way you look.
You
I
got the reference.
guarantee it.
But yeah, I mean, like when I think of Transformers, I think of that. You know, the Transformers song from that movie. Like they just made it up to 11. But like I said, you take away the main voice actors because you want to go like kid stuff. Like Morania's like, it's Iron Kid, it's a Kid Iron Man, Young Tony. It's I don't know, man. Like I said, like it could be good, or if the animation's gonna look like what was it, Superman and what is that one that was the HBO Max one you're gonna do? It was in the style of Steven Universe.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I'm saying I hope
Aquaman.
I'm saying I hope it's not like that because these
I don't think it'll
studios
be.
don't learn.
It's not gonna be.
I don't know. I don't know. I said, but I will not rule it out. I'm saying if it does like that, just ban animation, then I probably won't watch it because of that. And I'm already not liking the fact they're not using the original voice actors. I want they're freaking robots. I want Optimus to have the same voice as a 10-year-old boy.
It's younger Optimus though. It's not Optimus in the
Autobots.
animated series.
Roll out.
Well, do robots go through puberty? I mean, if not, then why would
Well, it's
they
like
do
on
that?
Cybertron, like it's before they come to Earth. So
Like, I want Optimus Prime in a wheelchair. Autobots, roll out. And he goes in a circle.
Yeah.
my care level is not high enough to get on a soapbox.
I
I was just presenting information. I thought people might be interested.
Hello, Eloise. Oh, Eloise here. We gotta start over.
Okay, move my books.
All right.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I just want to point out, I turned over to the draft for a second, and it's a weird world when people are excited to be drafted by the Bengals.
We are in the
Some of us
upside down.
waited a long time to live in this world.
I'm gonna watch my first Jets game this season.
Nice.
I want because that's where Rodgers is going.
We wait. Oh, is he really? Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers going to the Jets?
Yeah, they basically pulled a Favre on him, and he got sick of it. I guess.
Oh, all right, good.
Well, that's where Favre went. Favre went
Favre
to
with the
Jets,
Eagles,
too.
didn't he?
Well, he went. I think he went to the Jets.
And then he went to Minnesota after that.
Yeah, the
Well, he
Vikings,
go to Jets.
that's
I thought
right,
he went to the Eagles. My bad. Like I said, like it's just I don't know. Packers have a weird thing. It's like, so are they gonna pull the same shit like they did back then and burn all of the? Are gonna start burning all the Rodgers jerseys because he's gonna play? They did that. They did that to Favre jerseys. They burned it like, oh, he's on Minnesota, our rival.
I'm sure
The-
they probably done it already because he resisted getting the shot.
And the Packers have had basically two starting quarterbacks since the mid 90s.
Yep.
Or early 90s. Actually, the early 90s. 'Cause I remember the Bengals, right before they lapsed into total irrelevance, they were 2-0 playing the Packers, and they knocked the starting quarterback, Don Majkowski, I think his name was, out of the game. And they had to go to the backup, somebody named Favre. He brought him back, and they beat the Bengals. Packers were great from that point forward, and the Bengals just fell into the abyss.
If I recall, too, the first receiver to catch a ball from Brett Favre was Brett Favre. It got tipped, and he went right back to him, and he caught it.
Was that his first pass? Because I know he did that. I remember him doing that, but
Yeah, I think it was his first pass.
Like I said, the last time I was really interested in sports was when Favre was playing because especially towards the end of his career, because I was like, is he gonna make the complete task or is it gonna be uncompleted? It was always like it's like those are the best games to bet money on because you really had no idea if you're gonna win or lose.
Wasn't his last season the one where the Saints defense like messed him up really bad in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was the Packers, but he did play with the Jets and then he went to Minnesota for Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was with the Vikings when they played the Saints in the playoffs, and the Saints wrecked
Yeah,
him.
I think the Saints basically hastened his retirement, but he was already old as hell.
We gave him more purple than he had on his jersey.
Like I said, I get the guy. He just wants to play, and they're looking to push older guys out and use their young talent. Because I guess Rodgers was close to being traded.
He's one of the older quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, he's 39 or 40, and it's.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
But he's going to New York, though. He's
it's more than time to see if Jordan Love has has what it takes. Now, I did think it was funny that they were talking about there's a quarterback named Landon Hooker, who I was supposed to go sometime in the first round, and someone pointed out for the Packers, they said, "Well, if Love doesn't work out, you can always try Hooker."
Yes, and yes, Brett Favre was involved with the whole penis controversy thing.
Jen Sturgis.
Not that good looking. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, Rodgers came on the scene. I was so pissed what they did to Favre himself to cause Favre to leave.
Yeah.
Rodgers came on. I was like, I don't care for Rodgers. But then, and then Rodgers was dating Olivia Munn for a while. You guys remember that?
He was the lucky bastard.
And then, everybody was pissed because he was dating all the Packer fans. Like, he's dating Olivia Munn. He's slacking on. He's not winning games because he's dating her. And basically,
it's the same thing about Tony Romo when he was dating Jessica Simpson.
It's like a TV show. I can't remember what the show was, but it was like when the quarterback, when he has sex, he plays bad.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. All these guys get upset because their quarterback has a hot girlfriend. Like, what? They're supposed to be celibate while they're in the league? I mean, come on.
Aaron Rodgers has been through Danica Patrick, Olivia Munn, Shailene Woodley, and Blue of Earth. Actual name.
Yeah. But like I said, when he was dating Olivia Munn, you could see he was because remember she's far left weirdo.
Yeah, but she's
so is he.
Yeah. But like I said, I was shocked when he basically said, "I'm not taking the shot. I don't trust it. I want to do my own natural way thing." And he got so much flack from the media and his own coach and stuff. They did not like it. So it's like
that's why I was saying they probably burned his jerseys already.
So the fact that he's going to go to New York, maybe he'll fit in. But if it's anti-vax thing, I don't know. And then with their whole crime thing over there.
Well, okay. If you're Aaron Rodgers, you don't have to worry about any of that shit.
Yeah, you don't. You've got arm body.
As far as the vax status, remember, we're all just supposed to pretend like none of that happened now.
Well, yeah, Fauci and Trudeau said, we never did that.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was all a bad dream. Just wake up, Bob Newhart.
The education wench, I forgot her name.
Oh.
Yeah, she's saying the same things. And what they're basically saying now is it was the Republicans that didn't want schools to open.
Trudeau over there, the lady that works with him over. She was saying well, we're not basically we never shut anything down. What are you talking about? It was real short and stuff, And you talk about how she's the one that was announced around the news, was announced in Canada. They're freezing the truckers. Anybody who violates stuff, we're freezing your bank accounts, all your stuff. And it's just I said, whatever which way you vote, I mean, that's your personal choice. I just look at this. It's like, for whatever reason, there's always a 6-year gap or 4-year gap. People forget things because people, for one, not everybody pays attention to politics. 2, some people don't even vote. And 3, the media does a good job of just distracting you with other things. So,
gee, you think?
Yeah. As Tucker Carlson said,
there's a reason.
All unified.
There's a reason why trans is the be all end all right now.
Yeah.
It's distracting from a hell of a lot.
When the DOD, when a member of DOD comes out and says praises Tucker Carlson getting fired because then you won't never only be your insulter recruiting thing anymore. I'm like, whoa, when you pointed out that there's pregnant women in the Navy.
Yeah.
Israel,
Well,
you get arrested.
You mean
that.
pregnant men in the Navy?
Birthing person. Get it right now.
I'll just say I'll just end it on this. I don't want to get too much political, but in Israel, you have to sign up for 2 years. You're in there. You're not. If you're a woman, you're not allowed to get pregnant. And if you get pregnant, you get arrested. And so does the guy who impregnated you, because you're supposed to take a celibacy of 2 years because that's what you serve for your country.
Well, for years I thought that would be a good thing for the United States to adopt.
Yeah.
But given how woke our military is, I don't know that it would matter at this point between the military or going to public college.
Yeah. I'll just say this: if you want to make a lot of money, become the president of Ukraine.
Yeah.
but that's enough for politics. I don't want to bore you guys with this stuff.
I'm just looking at Olivia Munn photos on Twitter now, so I've completely.
She's good looking, but I said all the crazy ones are good looking, and so you get to know them. AOC.
You wear earplugs.
I will still say this.
No.
I will still say
You
this.
do not. You do not put AOC on the same level as Olivia Munn. No,
I
she
will
is
say-
in the sub basement. Olivia Munn is in the penthouse.
If AOC never said all the stuff she said,
no,
you're saying.
Nope.
I think you're skewed.
Her
Well, then again-
eyes are bulging out of her head.
I also gotta say this: I can't trust Zach because he doesn't like Michelle Pfeiffer.
That's true, but I like Olivia Munn, and AOC is nowhere near Olivia Munn's level. Sorry, denied.
Not even close. I'm sorry. Yeah.
But then again, very few are. Olivia Munn is peak hotness. And if you've ever seen
True.
when she made the Predator movie,
Mhm.
Predators.
when
Predator.
Conan had the
No, not
cast
Predator.
on his show, and it was like in a like a big theater.
Mm-hmm.
Look that up and see the dress she was almost wearing to that, and then try to sell me AOC. It can't be done.
Her as Psylocke in the god awful X-Men Apocalypse
Look.
was one of the few highlights of that movie.
Her Psylocke outfit was a nun's habit compared to the dress she wore on Conan that night. You gotta find that. Just trust me, Zach.
Okay.
If you're down that rabbit hole, you might as well go all the way.
I'll just say AOC.
Might as well fall all the way in.
You guys are going to talk about the Iron Man Adventures, Armored Adventures. Decent show.
Well, no,
Reimagining the characters.
That's the
Yeah.
one where he was the kid.
Yeah, but they de-aged everybody around him too, so it fit.
Sure.
I've got it on DVD.
A lot, but now I got to say this: I like that show a lot more than the MTV Spider-Man.
What?
If you watch the MTV Spider-Man,
Oh,
I've
you
heard
liked
of it,
more
but I
than the
never saw
MTV Spider-Man. Okay,
Yeah, I never saw that one.
Neil Patrick Harris.
yeah, I seen it.
That's what he's Neil Patrick voiced Spider-Man that one.
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
I would say this: the show was halfway decent, but they wouldn't have used like those ugly computer graphics. Would have been a lot better. Armored Adventures, yeah. So Armored Adventures Iron Man cartoon series, which is available on Disney Plus now.
Yeah.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, 2008 or something.
It's
Late
pretty.
2000s.
And do you know the reason I like it the most? The Mandarin was the Mandarin, and he had his freaking rings. He didn't have the freaking bangle or bracelets, whatever it was called. Those like,
bracelets, yeah.
yeah, it's the Sonic rings.
But he also had the regular rings in the 90s,
And he
season
was
1 and 2.
yeah, but he was also uber like evil, like in this Armored Adventures. Yeah. Wolverine and the X-Men is another one I recommend. If you like even the 90s X-Men cartoon. I can't believe they drew Rogue the way they drew Rogue in that. Like they gave her really filled out. If you like Jessica Drew's Spider-Woman, when they did she and early 2005 stuff or early 2000s when they drew her.
Hmm.
What looks like it's painted on. That's literally how the Rogue's costume worked in that show.
So
She just dropped his Disney Plus last November too. Well, I'm sure you could if you have a Half Price Books, you could probably find it. Wouldn't be surprised.
gentlemen, we've been going for 2 hours and 45 minutes, and I have to take what is politely called a bio break.
Yeah, that's all right. We were supposed to do a thing tonight. That's why a little longer because it got canceled. It was a book club.
Oh, book club got canceled?
Well, Ash can't make it. I know Skip is in the hospital, but he can listen in.
Oh, Skip.
HR wanted to talk about it, but we're going to talk about issues 1 through 8 of Murder Falcon.
I thought it was 1 through 4.
You say Skip's in the hospital?
Didn't say why.
Wow, shit.
Oh,
I know
sorry,
he has issues with his stomach and certain things,
He
acid.
beamed too hard. He lit the beam too many times.
Maybe
It takes the toll.
who knows? Maybe he's meeting a girlfriend there.
Maybe. Hey, you know what? Maybe it is something positive like that. I like that.
Yeah,
Maybe
and then and then she's the one to put him in the hospital.
Zach, did you find it?
No, I didn't find anything super. I'm gonna keep looking.
Let's see if
I didn't find anything super scandally.
Let's see. Fine.
It was on Conan O'Brien, right? As opposed to any other Conan.
Yeah.
Is it like a sleeveless, strapless thing? That might be
let's see.
it.
Since somebody mentioned, since Dr. Silver Age mentioned Daredevil series in the chat, I want to mention, maybe everybody already knows this, but I just found this out and I thought it was a cool little trivia tidbit. Is remember the Incredible Hulk movie where they had Daredevil in it? The TV movie?
Yes,
That was actually a backdoor pilot to start a Daredevil TV series.
I
But
remember that.
the kicker is, but the nugget is that's even better is the reason it did not happen, because it was going to happen, is the Flash series was going to come out. So that network bought the Daredevil series to stop it from going on because they thought they would only be good to have one superhero series going.
Yeah,
So the Flash canceled Daredevil.
Zach, I remember watching that and said, what is keeping that on?
Yeah, I think I see it. It's like a gray sleeveless thing. There's no reason gravity should not be working right there.
It doesn't look like it's gray, but
oh, maybe I'm looking at a different one then.
if I just typed in Olivia Munn, Conan O'Brien, Predator.
Okay.
First thing that came up was Olivia Munn and the struggles of working with men, Conan on TBS. And
Okay.
I said it's a nice dress. I mean, it's not. I mean, I probably.
Oh,
made
I
it
see
sound
it.
good.
I see it. Yep, I see it here. I had it on the wrong search. Okay. Ooh.
like I said, that I forgot that Daredevil that was in the Trial of the Hulk. It was
Yes,
series.
that's correct.
The actor Marania said she recognized who the actor. I can't remember who the actor was, but he was a big time kind of actor from something else, from their show, I think.
Yeah,
And
that's gotta be glued on there.
the Thor actor was really cool too. I gotta say.
Well, Daredevil was played by Rex Smith, who was one
That's
of
who
the
it was, yeah, Rex.
god-awful crooners of the day.
Yeah, Bill, dude. I guess
Frugal
saying
has
that
all his albums.
once I start getting into the Peter David Hulk series, and I'll be able to compare that to the Bill Bixby Hulk, because right now Bill Bixby Hulk is like my favorite Hulk, even though it's not real Hulk.
I still like Edward Norton's Hulk a lot. I wish we got.
I
more
just
of
love
that Hulk.
Mr. McGee. Everybody thinks he's crazy. It's the Hulk. It's the Hulk. I tell you, he's real. Fun show. Definitely worth picking up. I owned all of it and I sold it like a dumbass. I should have held on.
Oh.
I had it all on DVD and everything. Got it real cheap.
Dang.
I mean, I would buy them used, but they're like $5 for like per season.
That's not bad actually.
Well, I got it at it's got Made in League Exchange, which is basically like a half price books, but only has like CDs and video games and movies, you know, and some manga / books, but but anyway, my point was the Daredevil stuff is coming out now. Born Again series. Just heard that John Bernthal is returning as a Punisher in it.
Yes.
So I'm curious
I,
because they already did in Daredevil. It was a Daredevil season 2. They did the whole
Yep.
welcome back. Was it Born
I
Again?
don't know if it was. Well, no, it wasn't. I don't think it was Born Again, but it was kind of like Welcome
Which
Back.
one
Frank
was
or
that?
something.
Where Frank tapes a gun to his hand and handcuffs him to the chimney.
I do not recall.
I'm trying to remember what store that's from. I thought that was Born Again, actually.
But I do know where you're going with that. The rumor is that this new Disney Plus Daredevil will keep Netflix Daredevil as canon. That's the rumor. I don't put stock in rumors anymore because I know the MCU just puts stuff out there just to make controversy and get people talking about it. So it could be fake.
What's that?
Sources say.
Oh, thanks,
Oh
Doomcock.
God, Doomcock's back there. Good lord,
Yes.
that guy.
Dr. J's dead. He locked my basement. All right. Anyway, like I said, I'm kind of half interested, peak for that. Not really much coming out from Marvel that's really I'm looking forward to. I kind of want to see the Marvels for Monica Rambeau. And the girl plays Kamala Khan is kind of like I love her personality. I love her eagerness.
I do
She's kinda-
too.
Yeah. So I might wait for that to DVD. I don't know. But as far as any other movies coming out, like I don't care for Captain America, New World Order. It's not.
Yeah,
my
I'm
thing.
not super stoked, especially with that title. It's like, hey, we know what y'all are talking about. We're gonna do this.
I mean, are you
honestly after Guardians, there's really nothing Marvel's putting out right now that intrigues me. Unless
Oh, I forgot about Guardians actually.
Fantastic Four ends up looking really, really good. Like nothing MCU is doing intrigues me after Guardians.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it. If you like this and you're still here and you haven't subscribed, please do so.
Might as well.
We jumped up in view numbers again. We're at 312 now.
Nice.
That's because I keep going back in and out 1,000 times. That's a joke.
If I was a girl like that.
Oh.
So do we want to take a moment while we're still on to congratulate Heather Antos on running another company into the ground?
Wait.
Which one? IDW?
I thought that-
IDW laid off 40% of their staff today.
Wow.
AWA?
No, IDW.
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 They're
Their
done.
stock was in the toilet though.
Yeah, it
Wow.
fell off the exchange or whatever. So bad.
Yeah.
Good night, Jackson.
A wealthy enough guy could buy it and make like somebody could pull an Elon Musk on it if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But dang,
But,
way to go, Heather Antos. I'd forgotten her name until you brought it up just now.
What was the other one?
Other what?
Ask me about my feminist agenda. That's the one I always forget. That name.
That's Chelsea Kane.
See, you remember that? I can remember Heather Antos. I just can't remember that one. It's like
I just for some reason I can't picture that Mockingbird cover without her name. She's the one that wrote the period book, I think. Was it Maneaters?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that piece of crap. Oh,
Yeah, that piece of crap.
the
Yeah.
furry book.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Justin, I agree. If Young Avengers, if they brought them in and it was like that first series with the Jim Chung art, that would be pretty cool. Because they didn't shove down your throat that Hulkling and Wiccan were gay. Patriot was a cool character. You had Iron Lad, Cassie Lang. That was a cool story. But yeah, we probably won't.
Well,
get
you know why? Alan Heinberg is gay,
Yeah,
but he's a writer who is gay, not a gay writer.
there you go.
all set.
All right,
That's
and
it.
one last thing. There is apparently a rumor, and I think MK said this in our Twitter group. It talked about the new animated Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah, it comes out later this summer.
So
It's the one with Seth Rogen as Bebop.
No, that's not anime. That's I'm not talking about that. That's the computer one. He's talking about there's going to be an actual animated like the previous ones.
It's
So-
a computer animated. It's still animated, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I it's a rumor. Don't get too excited about it. Leave a like, subscribe. If you want to donate some money to help us out, there's a Colt Bangley. It's going to be scrolling on.
Who are we to turn away free money?
Yes. The money goes towards my beer fund and my other beer fund, and it also goes to my beer fund as well. And you can also support this channel by giving me money from my beer fund. And no, seriously though, it goes to the StreamYard, which is the monthly bill. And it also goes to the Marvel and the DC reading apps. This basically about one person actually did give us $25, and I gave $5 to Pixel. So help the guy out, man. You know, he might need this for hostage money. You know, home. He's going to the Philippines.
He's not going to the dangerous part of the Philippines, supposedly. Not the dangerous part.
It's all dangerous.
No, not really.
We need the money to hire West to get him out of there.
West is going to be our Rambo.
Right? Yes.
What is it? Rambo 4, where it's like the missionaries that are going up there, and he's got to go save them. Is that Rambo 4 that I'm thinking of?
Yeah, I think it's.
It's like fairly new.
No, that was there was the last one was Rambo 5. That was just called
But that's the one where he's back home though.
Yeah.
So the one before that.
Yeah.
Because okay.
Where he goes to was it Croatia or something?
No.
It was some weird. Anyway, but
that's off. That's a whole separate story.
we're way off topic. So like I said, leave a like, whatever you want to do, and then we'll see you tomorrow. There should be 2 readings, and look to see there might be a retrospective. All depends on who wants to show up and if my internet works. You guys can do one without me if you want to. I don't care. But anyway, we'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central, or maybe 7:15. Keep an eye out. Thanks for showing up, guys.
7:15.
Good night, kids.
Hasta